Jisoo gonna have to do some serious lifting here. Well, this one is done.
This is a 1v5 too, Mixwell with not dead yet.
Oh god, you're absolutely right. The odds stacked so heavily against them. Trying to swing in, trying to find a fair fight, and none of it. No! Not the knife! Oh, he's done it with a knife! What a way to round it out, Team Spain! On the ground, picking up the show match victory.
A fitting end. And actually a taster for the crowd today, Long, as well.
You love to see it. Mixwell looking comfy there, up on 24 kills on the brand new agent. Great to see the crowd having their home team to cheer for. But the other side, gotta say it as well, Kaide putting up numbers today, looking solid. Mimi showing off a little bit herself as well, but YJJ was a firecracker during this series.
Yeah, it was a real Sova and Sheriff spotlight out there on some of those rounds. Really, really nasty. Awesome double shock entry. You don't get to see that often.
No, you absolutely don't. So again, a real pleasure to get to watch this, to get to see Clove in action as well, seeing some of that capability and possibility. And this is after, I mean, I think these players have had
some hands-on time.
Yeah, a little bit, but not much. You can only imagine what pro teams, pro players are going to be able to achieve once they get the ability to really play this agent, get their hands on, and get, you know, considering, I said, Mike was starting to nerd out towards the end. They go, well, what about this then? Wait, no, I need you to tell me about this specific thing. And I can imagine the players at home will be doing the same thing here, but
अरे यार नवीन एजेंट खेलते हैं लोग इतना बोलो ना आधी मैच में चालू होणार आधी एजेंट रिव्हील आहे बाप रे शी संपली ती एजेंट रिव्हीलची मॅच भारी रे एजेंट तो अरे कसला हे मरून पण जिवंत होतो स्मोक देऊ शकतो मरून बाप रे
of the sorry, can't remember now, the medal.
तू कुठे बघतोय कोणाच्या स्ट्रीमवर
बघतोय it's very easy to set up fast utility combos, kind of off spawn barrier dropping.
Yeah, it definitely seemed
Twitch like direct Valorant sir ki konachi watch party
no
Twitch direct Valorant
yeah I'm really happy they had some sick track plays really
just really well काय एजंट आहे खतरनाक
honestly I felt like that Mixwell smoke for the Sova drone also just really well timed made that killjoy push on the timing super awkward. So I think that just kind of shows what those kind of comms can help you do in those clutch situations.
G2C player है माहिती आहे
It must be somewhat nerve-wracking to see these players pick up something you had internal that you've been working on and get their first real chance in front of the audience, bring it out to the wider world to see what was capable of. That's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. So you're happy enough with the result though, right?
I'm extremely happy about it, honestly. It went far beyond my expectations. I think no game designer out there ever will ever be like, oh, it's pretty slower than I expected. It's like, especially in a game like this, you know, our players are so good, they're so dedicated, they put the time in. So I really felt like the character shined really well today.
No, I'm incredibly happy we got to see
अच्छा इनका आता तब झालं 9 वाजता.
I just want to see what happens because like again.
अरे आधी ते शो मॅच असेल ना आधी बरोबर.
शो मॅच अरे ही झाली ना इनकी शो मॅच.
Is it चालू होईल मॅच.
Especially competitive play because there's such a different cut-off to that aspect, and I think there is a real viability here. I'd be very surprised to not see it.
I mean, even just theorycraft, there are so many possibilities alongside a double controller composition, obviously alongside other initiator utility. Also, I mean,
आता वाटते बरीच
super aggressive.
Emo treatment पण घेतली
still have the ability to contribute.
कीमो ट्रीटमेंट पण केली पूर्ण केस काढलेली तिने आता केस आले पण तिला बरं ओळखलं ना रे पहिले तिला
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos después de este maravilloso show match? Vamos a coger unas primeras impresiones de lo que ha sido este agente. We're here to grab some first impressions by the first people who get to play it here on the stage. I'm with Mimi and Mixwell for first Mixwell. Congratulations on the win. It's lovely to see you back on the stage. Why don't you start giving us some first impressions on what
अरे जिंकलेली ही विनिंग टीम वालीच आहे माणूस
Okay, I'm gonna speak in Spanish, so Mimi can speak in English. Mis primeras impresiones de Clove es un personaje muy diferente a lo que hay. Es un personaje muchísimo más agresivo. Que puede entrar con el duelista y morir para poder seguir tirando smokes en el afterplant y ser muchísimo más proactivo. Así que es un personaje que yo creo que muchos duelistas que no quieren jugar smokes van a acabar jugando.
Parece que es un guiño
अरे यार मी दाबून जेवलो ना यार पोळ्या खाल्ल्या भात खाल्ले काय सांगू मला अशी झोप आता डोळ्यांवरती आली मी म्हणजे नाही ना भाई पहिली वॉच पार्टी मस्त सगळं स्ट्रीमला करलाय स्ट्रीम चालू केली
do you think that there's going to be a place in competitive for this agent, first of all?
First of all, I'm gonna put my controller, Vanya, on this this agent because
Genji जिंकेल मला असं वाटतं का माहिती
Genji जिंकेल
कारण टफ हरवलंय आधी
What other agents do you think
Sentinels ला हरवलंय आधी जिंकेल ती
Amazing question.
पूर्ण टूर्नामेंट हरलीच ना एक पण टीम सोबत
I'm not sure. Honestly, anything that has a like a Razenade or a like KO Molly or something that can combine with the
चष्मा माझ्यासारखा आहे रे मीमीचा
DK.
झालं सुरू काय लगेच
Le estaba preguntando si creía que es una gente que se va a utilizar en el competitivo. Ella dice que Vania, una de las jugadoras de su equipo, en cuanto llegue a casa le va a poner a practicar y que hay que combarla con alguna gente que tenga daño en la vida, como una granada de Raze o todo este tipo de habilidades. Okay, last question is going to be for you, Maxwell, and it's not actually a question. I'm just going to give you some time so you can address the stage here in Madrid. Te voy a dejar que puedas que digas lo que quieras aquí al stage de Madrid en este pedazo de evento que estamos teniendo, sobre todo para crear un poco de hype en la final que se viene ahora.
Hola a todos, chicos, ¿cómo estamos?
मागच्याला माहितच नाही कोणाची मॅच आहे फॅनेटिक्स घालून जे आहे ते घालून जातो
जे आहे ते sois los mejores y
आपण टीम इंडियाचं घालून जाऊया रे इंडियाची जर्सी क्रिकेटची सगळे बोलतो जायला हॅकर बिल हॅकर
más fuerte así me gusta nos vemos ahora.
Muchísimas gracias a todos. Un corto receso y ahora mismo volvemos.
ही कडक या बोलते ती हॅकर हे साळोसकरांची मुलगी प्रीती साळोसकर आहे नाही बा न्यू एजंट ओइला न्यू एजंट आहे का ती आले झाली 10th कलर ब्लाइंड आहे माहिती आहे का हा अरे यार हे ले एन्जॉयमेंट मध्ये खेळतात रे आपल्या इथे बघ काहीतरी एवढा एन्जॉयमेंट मध्ये खेळते ना जेंजी असं वाटतं की आपण बघ गेमिंग पार्लर मध्ये जातो आपण 4-5 जण आणि मग तिकडे घेतो तशी खेळतात मग एकदम समथिंग तर एवढा हरून पण ती लोक म्हणजे हसत होता तो समथिंगला यांनी घेतलेला आहे रे PRX वाला कोणाला तरी काढलाय मी पहिल्यांदा बघतोय त्याला काढलं तो आपल्या ह्याच्यामध्ये जी मध्ये ना तो बेनकाय अच्छा बँकायला काढलं आणि ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स मध्ये आलाय बँकाय काय बोलतो ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स मध्ये फक्त एकच इंडियन प्लेयर आहे लाइटनिंग फर्स्ट ग्लोबल इंडिया मध्ये एकच इंडियन रॉसी पण निघाला रॉसी आता ह्याच्यामध्ये काहीतरी ट्रू रिपर्स मध्ये अच्छा टीआर मध्ये मला हे कळणार हे लोक आहेत ना चायनावाले झाले कोरियन झाले जॅपनीज झाले हे पोरं कशी म्हणजे ना लय काल्मली खेळतात रे कशी खेळतात गेम प्लेच वेगळा आहे त्यांचं डोकं पण वेगळं आणि काल्मली खेळतात त्यांना माहिती आहे ना एक राऊंड गेलं तरी पुढचा राऊंड काढू म्हणून आहे ते माहिती आहे आपल्या इकडे पहिला राऊंड हरल्यावर जीजी होतं चॅट मध्ये नाही यार आपल्या पोरांनी शिकायला पाहिजे अरे जरी आहे ना समजा जरी 9-3 जरी झालं असलं ना तरी पण ते लोक आराम काय त्यांना आहे ना प्रेशर नसतो माहितीये समज समोरचे 9 आहेत आणि आपण 3 तरी त्यांचं काय टेन्शन नसतं की भाई चल तरी आपण काढू आरामशीर काढू असं त्यांचं भाई माइंडसेट असतं आय लव्ह देम सो मच हरी एजंट काढलं रे मस्त आहे काय नाव काय अरे ते काय ते नो काय ना फ्लो हा जिसू कोण आहे जिसू एन्जॉय टुडेज मॅच हे काय बारकोड स्कॅन करायचं बघू जरा काय येते आयफोन मधून करता येते थोडस बघतो करून काय एन्जॉय काय अच्छा काय रे डायरेक्ट ट्विटर वरती गेलो Hey Master Card GG, my favorite moment from today's Valorant eSports Master Tournament was रेडबुलचा कॅन वगैरे मिळाला असता मजा आली असती.
अरे तुला माहितीये इन गेम पण रिवॉर्ड आहे त्याची, तू बघत असशील तर. माहितीये तुला याचं?
माहितीये मला मिळालेत ना, खूप मिळालेत मला.
कसं करायचं ते मला तर काय.
ते ड्रॉप्स मिळतात रे प्रत्येक ज्याला स्ट्रीम बघतो ना ट्विचची तू, तिकडे ड्रॉप्स जर त्या लोकांनी ऑन केले असतात ना तरच ड्रॉप्स मिळतात. ते मला चॅम्पियन्सचं कार्ड इकडूनच मिळालेलं, डायरेक्टच्या स्ट्रीम वरून, आणि एकदा स्ट्राउटच्या स्ट्रीम वरून टायटल मिळालेलं. फक्त तुला ट्विचला तुझं गेम लिंक करायला लागेल.
हा ट्विचला ते लोक बोलत होते की कनेक्ट करा म्हणून. मला मोबाईल मध्ये येत होतं. अरे VCT मध्ये गेको लय फायद्याचं आहे रे बोलतात.
की खेळतात गेको, खेळतात भाई गेको. मी आता गेकोच खेळणार आता बसून.
मी ठरवलेलं आता गेको.
आता तू खेळ राही ना भाई, आता मी खेळणार गेको.
During the show match was absolutely bonkers. What a warm up for them for the grand final.
And the game hasn't even started
yet.
Exactly. And they're
already Mumbai पण match आहे रे.
Yeah, it's unbelievable stuff, but regardless of what happens on this stage here today, history has already been made thanks to the players on
screen.
History-making performances bring them to a grand final.
Oh,
and not just a grand final, Hypoc. They're up from the winner's side. So they have control of how this competition is going to unfold.
Yeah, against the team there were a couple of question marks about them coming into this event with a little bit of a strange journey here to defeat Rex in the fast defeat Rex. You know, what is the real Gen G? But they've just come from strength to strength here in Madrid.
They've won 9 matches in a row between this tournament and their own kickoff. And if they win today, if they could lift that trophy, they would be the first ever Asian Valorant team to do so. It's history in the making.
When you think about the history and what we've seen from Korean Valorant all the way up until this time,
I didn't think it would ever be anybody else other than DRX, I guess, after the last couple of years, but I'm so glad it's Gen G. Basically the brink of achieving this because they have been such an exciting team to watch, some fantastic individuals and personalities as well.
And the thing is, last time we had a Korean team this deep, it was new turn. They went out in the upper finals all the way back in the first ever international tournament for Valorant here. I mean, it's wild that it's taken this long for a Korean squad to come back, but it has some of those same pieces. Lakia, after barely attending international events, after kind of falling off the radar, going down to tier 2, has come back to another international and is now in the finals. And Solo, who is on that Neutron squad, is now leading this Gen G
COM Flom वेगळा.
What a journey it has been. But for more on Gen G, let's go ahead and send it over to Insu, who managed to get some words with Munchkin.
आईला मुंबईची एक विकेट पण पडली आईला 0 वरती.
Hello, Munchkin. Welcome to your first grand final. Of course, you're the first Korean team to make a grand final here at a global event. What is the plan for today, and how do you make sure you bring a trophy home for you?
We just play our own game.
Well, it's worked so far. Thank you very much.
Well, it's their game that brought them this far, and it doesn't shock me that Munchkin's coming into this one with a ton of confidence. But here's the thing, yes, there's history on that side of the field, but let's actually head over to the other
Discord वर तुला स्ट्रीम करायला लागेल. डीएलए चालू आहे नुसता. तो Munchkin बडबड करून गेला, त्याच्यानंतर माझ्या स्क्रीन वरती आला. अरे इकडून बसला पण बघ लगेच.
This could be a massive achievement for a guy who started off his career in Valorant white hot.
Yeah, I mean, as we keep talking about being the chosen one, this is a player there was so much hype about, so many questions about when, you know, there was a little bit of a drop-off in a few iterations of this Sentinels roster, but so far, godlike.
त्याच्या गर्लफ्रेंडने त्याच्यावर आरोप केले की याने मला हे केलं तसं केलं तसं केलं म्हणून त्याला जेलला पाठवले. त्याची केस वगैरे चालू होती पण सुटला तो, म्हणजे गिल्टी प्रूव्ह नाही केलं त्याला. नाही नाही सेंटिनल्सने काढलं नाही, सेंटिनल्सने फक्त बेंच डाऊन केलं. अजून तो सेंटिनल्स नाव लावतो.
त्यांच्याकडे तेवढी समजूतदार आहे रे. आपल्या इथे डायरेक्ट त्याचं आयुष्यच बरबाद करून टाकलं.
आपल्याकडे मारामारीच होते डायरेक्ट चुकी असेल तरी आपलीच चुकी.
तो कुठेतरी गेला असता ना, कुठेतरी इंटरव्ह्यूला लगेच बोलायचं अरे तू तोच आहे ना, चल ठीक आहे, चल इथूनच वटक आता.
I think this is the best iteration.
अरे हिने कपड़े चेंज केले आता.
We work together, we get along, we're great friends, and I think we trust each other, and that's what matters the most.
बघ ना तिने का मस्त.
Best iteration.
I
think we all can agree that most definitely is the case here, Mimi. I mean,
आई आणि तुझ्या बायकोमध्ये भांडण
अब हा टेंज ज्याची प्रॅक्टिस करतो त्याची मी करत होतो मगाशी रे प्रॅक्टिस.
Because it felt like they were
breeze map है.
dead men walking at one point in time, and now here they are in a grand final.
Yeah, it's
updated है रे breeze वाला.
Struggle. 3 years even a struggle for this organization to make it back to
updated वालाच आहे. वाह काय आलेलं नीटला.
this point as an international competitor, but they've taken the time. They've invested in rookie players along with the veterans. They've brought on a coach who has instilled such fantastic fundamentals and has really built a team that is incredibly cohesive. And Sentinels have never really had that to this extent before.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so impressive, this run that we're seeing from them. But of course, Sensi and Sasi have already held global trophies above their head. Of the other 8 players on that stage, they have not. And in fact, two of them are here for the first time ever. They literally showed up.
Nico माहिती आहे निकोला कोणतरी विकत घेत होतं पण त्याने सोडलं नाही जितू माहिती.
Which is so incredible because John QT doing this as
Valorant
IGL has been utterly impressive. But then Karen genuinely
बिचारे जिंकले नाही रे.
Tier 2 WATCHPARTY. अरे सध्या कसं Valorant खेळतोय म्हणून Valorant. CS चं काय राहिले नाही रे आता. जे आहे ते आहे.
kind of input as a controller for Gen G
has बेकार gameplay करून टाकलाय
pivotal to their success.
And on the other side for John QT, this is a guy who has been finding that since the beginning. He's played in EMEA, he moved over to North America, he grinded in Tier 2, even meeting Kaplan back then. Then Kaplan gets this chance with Sentinel, he gets his opportunity on Tier 1, and for a young IGL, he goes absolutely nuclear. His first international event, and he's led his
$50 hack विकतात अरे भाई सीएसके काय
बोलतो. He's so clutch. I still think that clutch on split one of the coldest we've had here in Madrid.
And it's the same for Karon. Both these guys, they're young, they're new to this pressure, and they're both stepping up, winning clutches, popping multi-kill after multi-kill. It is ridiculous what these rookies have achieved.
पाटील ने आवड
been mind-blowing without a doubt, but another player who has actually been shattering our brains is Zekin. He's actually standing by with Yinsu to get some words as we get ready for this matchup.
Hello, Zekin. Welcome to the grand finals. You've had such a great tournament so far. Tell me, what's been the secret and the reason behind your individual success and performance?
अरे जाम आधीपासून म्हणजे एकत्र आहेत.
It's hard work and dedication, but the truth is, it's all through the SEN.
अरे या लोकांना मानलं पाहिजे, लय ग्राइंड करतात तर लय मनापासून ग्राइंड करतात रे लोक.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
लय मनापासून करतात यार खरं.
Capitalism is what powers that young man there.
म्हणजे यांच्याकडून एक गोष्ट शिकणार की तर दुसऱ्या करियर मध्ये ना तर करियरच बनवायचं बस.
The commission changed in his contract as well as matching Celsius. Yeah. My guy's making plays out there. Make sure he gets paid. In any case though, folks, there's so much to discuss regarding this game.
Screen भाऊ रिटायर झाले काय व्हॅल्यू मध्ये.
But for now I want to turn the question over to the community earlier on.
स्क्रीन नाही रिटायर नाही याच्यामध्ये तो केसी मध्ये. केसी काय बोलतो? केसी एक टीम मध्ये आहे ओसी मध्ये.
ओसी वॅलोरंटची टीम ना.
हां
जेंजीला अडतीस नाही रे जेंजी जिंकणार भाई. मी जेंजी सपोर्टर. मी जेंजी सपोर्टर.
जेंजी है भाई. जेंजी तू जेंजी करतोय काय? मी सेंटिनल करतो सर.
मी जेंजी करतो.
जेंजी सेंटिनल. जेंजी काय नाव आहे पार्लेजी सारखं?
ए अरे ए शिती सांगेला जेंजी काय रे? ह्याला
पार्लेजी सारखं. जेंजी काय नाव आहे काय? पार्लेजी जेंजी आईला बिस्किटचा पोडा आहे. नाव पाहिजे सेंटिनल. पार्लेजी जेंजी काय रे? छोट्या बरोबर सांगितलं नाही जेंजी. आलं तर बोलतो पार्लेजीचं नवीन बिस्किट आलं की काय बोल.
ऐक ना तेच जर आता सेंटिनल मध्ये पादरी खेळाडू असले असते ना बोलला काय नाव आहे सेंटिनल. असं वाटतं दवाखान्याचं नाव वाटतंय.
It would be the hard way. They played every match possible in Americas. They went down to the lower bracket. They played through play-ins. They had a long off-season. This is a team who has really dedicated themselves to the grind. Since the beginning of 2024, they have played every match impossible, and it's the reason they're so good.
You know, I have to say, though, something that has been very impressive on the other side of this stage has been Genji's overall this event, just their performance as a whole. It genuinely feels like this team, something that we have noticed before.
Pressure. For some reason, these guys are causing, they look like naturals up there. Yeah, like it's not a big shock to be on the international stage and face off against teams like Sentinels, PaperX, Loud, for example, some international veterans.
And I love how proactive they are at getting up and talking their talk, and just feeling the game. Once they start, I feel like it's so hard to stop them, because just like once that vibe is up, like who's gonna turn that off?
Well, actually, I'm really glad you bring that up, because then my eyes kind of turn to the guy who's won a world champion on that circuit. And even though his tournament has been a little up and down, a little topsy-turvy, if you will, Mike, I do feel like at this point in time, you gotta lean on guys like Zelsis to keep the attitude going.
Absolutely, you dial into that experience, but also Sensi has been way more impressed with his individual performance, but also his contribution to some of the executions around his utility. I'll be honest, the burning questions not necessarily the value that he's bringing to Sentinel.
Yeah, also when he's in the server, even if he's not putting up numbers, he's putting up great supportive utility. One of the reasons why Zekin looks like the best in the world right now is the Gecko or Sky player who's saucy behind him. On top of that, it's the emotional leadership too. He brings that world championship attitude to this squad. He lets them know, we can do this, we can win this trophy, and it's the same for Zelsis as well. They have guys who keep them in it today.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but your boy's sweating up here because I love it. I'm all about it. I want to know real quick who we got.
I'm going to predict Sentinels. With a double map ban for Genji, it's going to be really tough. But if it's the hard road, I can't doubt it.
Okay, Sentinels is what Mimi says. Hi, Pak, what about you?
Genji walking their way
to
today. Do you know what? We had this conversation before this event started. I was like, I'm not buying it, GB. I'm not buying it. You
I'm curious to see where we end up for the match. For Korea.
It would be history for them walking on here with rookies, with a roster that had no expectations to make it now to a grand final, to have a chance to a trophy.
ऐक ना, म्हणून आहे ना मला माझं स्वप्न आहे जपानला फिरायला जायचं आणि जपानला फिरायला जाऊन तिथलीच कटवायची नीती आणायची. असं मला
बोलणार काय म्हणते
सोड ना, बोलायला काय लागतंय?
आखोई काय
ऍक्शन हातवारी
Someone's walking away with the trophy. It's Genji versus Sentinels, a best of 5. The Masters Madrid grand final starts right now.
काम बच्ची बोलते अपने पास है उसमें खुश है.
मॅच सोडून बाकी सगळं दाखवतात बघ.
हे काय करणार आहे बघून पादरीगिरी
नाही बघ.
अरे भाई 8 जण बघतानी 7 लाईक के भाई काय कुठला आहे?
काय रे भाई काय
लाईक तर करा.
पण पेपर एक पाहिजे होती यार, एक फील झाला असतं माहितीये का की आपल्या इंडियाच्या जवळवाली टीम. ते पण मानायला पाहिजे, पण कुठच्या हरून आले शेवटी. ऑलमोस्ट सगळे सोडून गेले. 10 राहिला तो राहिलाच रे.
अरे मग काय
बघ ना, ही आधीची टीम कोणीच नाही त्यांच्यामधला, एकटाच आहे तो सेंट.
अरे
They only win a single map in the entire stage. Super disappointing. That's been the story of their year, really, hasn't it?
ओ अच्छा, सेनचा कोच पहिला टीम मध्ये खेळायचा.
I am thankful for the opportunities I've been given.
अरे मग आता दाखवत होता तो बघ खुर्चीवर बसलेला.
नाही कोच नव्हता.
अरे हो, तो यंग होता बघ, त्याने मिशी सगळी काढली.
अरे सगळे सोडून गेले त्यांच्यामधले, कोणीच नाही आता त्यांच्यामध्ये.
मग मे बी तोच कोच असावा असं वाटतंय.
कोच बदलले ना. आधी सेंटिनल्स कडे कोच कुठे होता? कोच नव्हता, हा चालवायचा टीम. शजाम.
अच्छा, शजाम.
पहिल्यापासून
पार्लीजीचा नाही माहिती.
문제로 되게 힘들었었고요. 힘들었고 포기하고
गेले पण आहे, कुठे गेले?
당연히 엄청나게 많았지만 네,
디스라이크 마르레
결국까지 제가 프로를 시작했었던 첫 이유가 이제 엄청나게 큰 무대에서 우승이었기 때문에.
काय बोलू रे लुख्याला काय आलं
डिसलाइक मारले रे लुख्याने तरी बोलतो लाईक का नाही
कोणी
दर्पण अरे हे काय आहे कोपऱ्यामध्ये
नाही ते त्यांचंच आहे बाबा आपलं काय नाही
Are you planning to make it a pro? Is that
Yeah, that's the plan.
हे PRX टी-शर्ट घालून आला नकली माणूस हट
to come see Masters. First Korean.
हे ड्रॉप्स अवेलेबल आहेत बघ आरटी
कुठे आहेत भाई कुठे आहेत
हे बघ अवेलेबल आहेत बघ मी दाखवले ड्रॉप्स अवेलेबल आहेत
कुठे पण काय
Valorantच्या मेन स्ट्रीम वरती मला पॉपअप मेसेज आला बघ त्यांच्या चॅट मध्ये बघ ड्रॉप्स इज लाईव्ह नाउ रिफ्रेश
अरे हा रे अरे घ्यायचा कसं पण ड्रॉप
नाही तो आपोआप मिळतो आपल्याला नोटिफिकेशन बार मध्ये वरती येईल विस्पर लिहिलंय बघ विस्पर विस्परच्या बाजूला नोटिफिकेशन आहे तिकडे आपल्याला घेऊन येईल जर काय मिळालं तर
कुठे विस्पर भाई
चॅट बॉक्सच्या वरती बघ लेफ्टला
तिथे कोलॅप्स आलंय
कोलॅप्स नाही त्याच्या वरती बघ ना नोटिफिकेशन आहे विस्पर आहे
운이나 그런 게 아닌 진짜 땀나는 노력과 그리고 마음속에 쌓여져 있던 응어리들이 를 전부 다 해소하면서 여기까지 오게 된 걸 알아주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
अरे लॉग
तू साइन अपच नाही लॉग इन करायला लागते रे
आयपीएल ला हे चालू होईपर्यंत हे नाही रे येडायच काय आयपीएल वर असे स्ट्राइक मारतील माझे चॅनलच पूर्ण काम पच्चीत होऊन
This match is redemption for us.
अबे लॉग इन तर कर अरे हा नाही यार लॉग इन
काय रे जर पण असा लॉग इन नाही करत ड्रॉप पाहिजे
मी काय म्हणतो पण हा पेपर एक्स वाला काय करतोय इकडे
मॅच बघायला आलो
काय करतोय साधं टी शर्ट घालून ना लुक्या
वा तो फायनलिटीचं घालून आला त्याला काय नाही
아직 자랑스러울
एडिटिंग तर बॅटरीला आली पण नाही तरी घालून आलाय
어찌됐든 자랑스러울 것 같습니다.
अबे लॉग इन तर कर
It's always a perfect road.
आता कुठे करू लॉग इन
I'm just really thankful.
हो भाई
ड्रॉप कसे मिळतील रे
जाऊ दे ड्रॉपचं काय
अरे भारी मिळतात भाई स्किन वगैरे पण मिळतात
काय बोलतो
मग काय
करू मग अरे हे सगळं आता लाईव्ह दाखवायला लागेल यार मला मी इथं जाऊन
Valorantची चॅम्पियनची स्किन वगैरे पण मिळते
अरे यार अकाउंट बनवायला लागेल
बापरे इकडून सुरुवात आहे जाऊ दे सर
वर्ड डॉक EXE सेंड करायला
आयला मुंबईची अजून एक विकेट 30 वरती 2
बाबा आयपीएल कुठं मला सांगतो
मला ड्रॉप मिळाला
काय भेटला फोटो टाक
काय नाही
यायला गाणी बिणी येत रे
ओरडतोय मॅच चालू कप बघ रे
बापरे अहिला पहिल्यांदा एवढा भारी कप बघितला मी यांचा बापरे तुला माहितीये यांच्या कोचने ना प्रत्येकाला ना राऊंड जिंकल्यानंतर माहितीये थोडस ते असं करतात ना या ते करायला लावलं माहितीये कारण आतमधलं निघतं जेवढं काय
असेल काय घेऊन आला
काय घेऊन आला वडापाव पाव वाढलं रे मला पहिला बाय द सेंट बंडल घ्या बाय
आता हा वाटतं डायरेक्ट झोपूनच त्याला बोलवतात
घ्या
पण घेऊन
बराबर गावची टीम नाही आयपीएल मध्ये म्हणून इंटरेस्ट नाही गावाची म्हणजे
अरे बादशाह माणूस आला बघ काय
हे तू जा रे नल्ल्या काय पण घेऊन
हा जिंकणार भाई मॅच
जेकनला मानतो यार खरं
जेकन एकटाच जिंकल
जेकनला मानतो
आईला हवं
हे आवड का गाली येस 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 या 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 आवड का नंतर टॅटू बघ कडक
आहे हवा कोण आहे
अरे हा कोच रे बाबा आईला मी कल्याण वाचलं काल पण आहे का बरं एकेकाची एंट्री दिली
सेलिसियसला एक्स्ट्रा पैसे दिले ते मला वाटतं कडायला ते
जेल्सिसला
दर टाइमला पकडून येतो जायला काय मला ते
पकडायला ते आवडतं वाटतं त्याला
कल्ले हा ना पटकन वाचला अरे मला कल्ले कुठं आला आला वाईट टेक्स्चर आला
टेक्स्चर भारी खेळतो रे बाबा टेक्स्चर म्हणजे बापरे
हे माय रे हे लाकी आलं बघ छोटं पोरं
नाव आहे ना आजाराचं नाव वाटतं ना कसं
लाकिया ह्याचं मला तेच आवडतं राऊंड जिंकला की असं उठून असं
त्याची उंची छोटी आहे ना थोडी
भारी मंचुरियन आला तोंड पण मंचुरियन सारखं
काय रे
अभी जो है वो है हा कुठ ओ मिटियोर क्लास है मिटियोर क्लास
आणि हे आपलं टेक्स्चर
मिटियोर क्लास
हा कोण आहे
ओहो कॅरॉन हे कॅरॉनने पण लय भारी मॅच काढली कॅरॉन जे माझ्या भावासारखं दिसतं अरे हा जेवढा मुलीपासून लांब असलेला दिसणं तेवढा भारी खेळणार हे बात बरोबर सोलो 2 कोच आहे त्यांचे अरे एकच कोच आला
एक बाजूला बसतो मजा येईल रे मॅच चालू मजा येईल
3, 2, 1.
It's been a difficult road for both of these teams, from failing to make an impact at the start of the VCT era to now being in the main event. Only one will hold a trophy over their head, and it's now time to determine who walks away as the inaugural champion. This number one for the Pacific, number one, ready for war.
It's been over 10,000 Sentinels and Tanks hit a grand final stage at an international event after grinding it out.
काय बोलतो 5 तास
5 मॅच पूर्ण झाले तर लागेल
हा यार
एक तास तरी लागतो एक मॅचला
मला तर नाही वाटत मी पूर्ण स्ट्रीम करू शकतो रे मग काय एवढं कोण बघणार आहे ओके लोटस बॅन आहे
सनसेट पण बॅन
क्या बात है
ब्रीज
बघायला मजा येईल
बाइंड घेतला पाहिजे
आइस बॉक्स घ्या
आता ही लोक हा घेतील
बाइंड ओके आइस बॉक्स पण येणार आइस बॉक्स
डिसाइडर मॅप आहे बाइंड बघायला मजा येईल पण
डिसाइडर मॅप आहे ब्रिज बघायला मजा येईल सर काय
बाइंड आणि एसेंट दोन्ही बघायला मजा येईल
जॉन Tarantino काय नाव आहे
victory because neither team I'm suspecting is going to be given anything up, but I'm really looking at that
Quentin Tarantino
the tone setter of this game, just like what Sentinels did to PaperX yesterday on Lotus.
I think the tone setter, but then you got to look towards Split. The question marks that have arisen. Sentinels actually this is the field front loaded for Genji now. Can they ride on that previous victory once again?
Kaplan did say that Sentinels were ready for anything. That give them Breeze, give them Icebox. They just want to play. They're trying to focus more on their own game today, and that's the same focus that Genji said thereafter. Still, it's going to be brutal. Back-to-back BO5s, game after game for the Sentinels. Well, Genji has time to study their opponent and prepare for this rematch.
But one has to wonder, though, that lower bracket run, right, gives you the confidence, especially taking out a PaperX team that I think we're just shooting out of their minds in this tournament, especially toward the later end. One has to wonder if that initial battle could actually pay off for them here in the grand final.
I mean, scoreline aside, it's an exhausting series to play against a team like PaperX, but whether or not that now, kind of puts them in a position to be ready for what Genji's got to allow here in the grand final.
You really have to focus on how incredible it is that Sentinels even made it here right through that BO5.
Hollywood
This is
director
John Gootie's first international event as an IGL at this level. He played Ascension before, fell flat there, but now he's managed to keep up the calls for so many matches on end. Is it enough today, though? That's the question. We're into the agent select, and there's no surprises. Both teams return to their same comps, but I imagine Sentinels gonna have a new game plan today.
I mean, the other thing being Genji composition, there's an opportunity to go back and study where things went wrong, where there's some possibilities or opportunities to really make some impact on the side of Sentinels.
But we know that the Pacific teams really do like this Breeze. They like to play aggressive. They like to catch you off guard. Very loosey-goosey.
Sentinels एकदम Breeze ने जिंकली अरे. आणि ही लोक 6 मधून 3 मॅच.
अरे पण भाई सेन पिक से तो Breeze.
अरे तिकडे विनिंग 0 होते.
हाँ मग पण सेंटिनल पिक से भाई तो.
त्यांना ते 2 बॅन करायचे असतील म्हणून आज
म्हणून गेला.
हेवन वगैरे नाही आहेत ना खेळण्याला.
Let's go boys. अबे फॅक्ट आहे ना लेफ्ट मूवी मध्ये जबरदस्ती पाय घालतो.
Thank you very much. Let's get this one started in the Madrid arena. What a stage that's been set up, man. The scintillating Sen City trying to pave that road for a bit of redemption, but they got the pride of Pacific on the other side.
जर जेंजी आज जिंकली तर मी जेंजीचा कॅप्सूल घेणार.
Looks brutal to try and get to it.
सेंटिनल जिंकते
जेंजी आज जर जिंकली तर मी जेंजीचं कॅप्सूल घेणार. संपला विषय.
तर पहिला राउंड बोल कोण जिंकते.
पहिला राउंड जेंजी अभ्यास करून आले ब्रिजचा. ओहो
barely played any defense the last times that these two
काय
teams
अभ्यास
बघ नुसतं उड्या मारा अभ्यास करणार.
Another thing to note, Bren. Gen G won all 6 pistols last time they played. That's an almost insurmountable advantage.
Something that's got to be turned around if you are Sentinels heading into these series. They've mentioned that they're putting a lot of focus on themselves, not too much on the counter-stratting. I think that might be wise as well. Breeze is going to be a map that really comes down to a bit of form factor. Can you hit your shots? Can you try and take down the big dogs that is Gen G? Because they got some heavy hitters. Munchkin now setting up for the wall. Looks like a bit of an A split.
Going straight into John QD's setup.
John QT just crouched behind this one. Still flash. Molly coming through. Trip as well. And the counter in order. There it is. Deleted him. Trip kill. Never seen that one before. At least on the big stage. Here it is though. It slowed down Gen G to a crawl. Lakia in through the back of the site though. And there's the response. The return of firepower. Zelsis left to pick up those pieces. But already a site has been gained and granted. Shotdown kills. 2 versus 2.
And now as Gen G have to return. Zekan's gone to make the play, wrapping all the way around. He's got a Sheriff favoured for long-range fights. That shock not quite as successful as the prior. Sassy's been locked out and has given away his position. And Caron, new to the big stage, so aware, but he's missed the
barely. From ranked to rookie to tier 1 stage to the chance to lift the trophy, Caron looking like he might take that first contact dart. Supportive util, Sassy finding it difficult to really get himself into the position. Second, walking wide, now the dart finally ready, clearing it. At least on here, but time's starting to work and tick against the face from all of them. On top now, Sassy versus Lakia. Right players against one another. It's Lakia who cleans it up with a pistol.
And another one of those pistol rounds going the way of Gen G. The individual skill is so high. You see this ridiculous opener for John QD. Clearly anticipating an A-split from coming through. Sentinels simply couldn't capitalize on it. One of those players with a lot of focus on it. Global events in Valorant. And is here now at our most recent in incredible form.
मला रहने सोडून दूसरा एक मास्टर करायला
shot of revenge. I mean, he's already got it the first time in the upper bracket. Now a chance to really knock them down and deep. Now there's a flash play here with a util.
Okay.
Still is happening on multiple sections here with Mita falling down.
Push down holes. Yeah. Push down holes.
Trying to squeeze them now with the drone. Orders combat might be in order, but again, team's finally coming through with the right clicks. Finally, left clicks getting it done. Shotgun's pulled out, maybe a bit frantic. In terms of that approach, Sassy getting ahead of himself. Zelsis. 3v3. Peek his cranium out wide. Still going to be playing his life now.
It feels a little bit like a comm was missed there because the spike was dropped. And yet TenZ is going for a repush elbow, almost anticipating that Gen G would to rotate, but they had to recover that spike and had to be cautious doing so. Has TenZ read this play perfectly though? Guardian in hand.
Guardian
are coming towards him.
Must be something.
Guardian
hearing it. Getting the rumble of the footsteps. He tries to take the time just before anybody was set up for it. And they run him down. Munchkin taking that forward angle. What could have been a possibility now is just looking just more unlikely.
Zelsis with the outlaw. Everybody dies in a single shot, but it's a 1v3.
He's already been spotted out. Beautiful work from the IGL. So 3 players surviving, making it nice and clean here for Gen G off the back of that pistol round. A map that, again, have to iterate here that they are favoured in this situation. They've already played SEN on this map here. They absolutely trounced them.
That was a dismantling. One that
4x3 वरती खेळतात इकडे लोक
responsibility for the choice to end up here.
हो ना stretch 4x3 है
whatsoever when it
stretch
comes to
resolution
Gen G having that double map ban. Heading into the bonus round. Meteor not too far away from
wall मधून गोळी मारत नाही आपण हे लोक टपाटप चोकतात हा ना
super effective to get into these sites.
आतमध्ये गेला नाही तो
Little jump up Zekan.
Yeah, he's pushed up deep here.
Lucky
Zekan को कुठे आलाय? Much to trade it, but he sees it, hears it, and there's the kill. Collected onto Munchkin, but it's offset. Immediately onto the other side of the map. Fast pace increasing from Gen G, happy to just play for that pick, play for the orb, and now slow it down once more.
And not prioritizing the orb on Meteor, as I suspected they might, to try to get the dimensional drift online. Instead, just going for texture. SEN have been picking these kind of timings in the first 2 rounds to go for little explorations to see if they can get some more info. Instead, though, Zekan and Zelsis doubling up over towards A, anticipating that this would be a re-hit, just confident that John could hold down the other side.
Just that, though, massive map control that's been lost here for Sentinels. You can feel it just to
having
to watch halls in case that lurk comes through with 40 seconds left.
40.
Gen G now, fully grouped up. Starting to hit into this side, but John QT is going to be sitting side by with his rifle. Might have to try and put a stop to this one. Well, the adversaries are trying to overcome here. Still not showing his hand. Potential there to set that one up, but finally a few shots fired and Rattle Texture's been creeping and crawling up onto the angle. Finally there, releases it. The trigger straight to the dome there. Sassy dropping into the back of the site.
Bonus round
Disadvantage position. Gotta watch that one though. Yes. Seconds left. A round-winning play perhaps, but now a safe plan position for Meteor tucked right behind the pillar. We'll be able to get the extension into the round, but can he survive the 1v2 already through? And second!
round काढला रे 4K
Zekan got shut down completely in the upper bracket final when these 2 teams played against each other. But you can't keep Zekan down for long. What we saw him do to PaperX.
अच्छा, 8 point दिला दे, हला दिला.
3 out of 4 of the maps, he was clearly the best player in the server.
Okay. म्हणजे जेकन आता next round ला जेकनची Vandal दुसऱ्याला देणार आणि जेकन अल्टवर खेळणार.
On Jet, especially with rifle in hand. The timing on the cloudburst dropping.
काय resolution मध्ये खेळतात ते बघितलंस काय?
Grabbing 2 on the back of it as well.
ह्यांना क्लिअरिटीची नाही पडली यांना गेमप्लेची पडली यार.
Play this defense aggressively, not at the beginning of the round, not trying to force the fight, but looking for those mid-round timings to soak up a flank or a bit more info. And Zekan is going to be crucial to that.
It's a good adjustment as well, something to just upset those timings. But Gen G, they play pretty close together.
So
drone into elbow really makes it feel like Zekan could be pushing behind this. So everybody on Gen G scared. Instead, the double push coming down halls. Great distraction play from Sassy.
Meteor, though, potentially getting some of that information towards the one side with a nice blade storm. Running them through, and the IGL dropped. But now a scurry and scatter. Everybody running over towards that A side, seeing if they can at least reinforce Meteor's position. He's going to be tucked close.
Can they get a double face going with Zekan updrafting? Instead, just choosing to face it.
Okay.
TP with a gate crash, not going to be baited out from that one. Through halls, could be that late low play in that position. Meteor going to be cleaned up there with the
angle texture.
No one forced that wide. Lackey though, taking that kill and closing the door in front of him. Neural theft, giving the info. Texture. Emphasis is placed on him, attached to the side here, but a pull on not half onto the spike. Could be a big difference maker. Could be a massive one, in fact. Gen G have got them surrounded on almost every single front right now, picking them apart, the threads unraveling. Leave it to just John QT. Time ticking away. Gen G themselves up nice and easy onto that third.
John not even able to secure the rifle, which could have made a huge difference for Sentinel's economy. If he had been able to keep it, perhaps they would have still been able to buy into the next. I love the play at the beginning of the round from SEN. I think it's really smart. Fake like Zekan's pushing in one direction. But he also just allowed Meteor to run in with his ult.
Bomb plant
and he essentially did that just all on his own. And once you're in an aftermath situation and Gen G are walking all over the space,
much more difficult to clean up, and SEN's retake protocols do not look as good here as on some of their other maps.
Definitely tell it's a map that's just been, less honed over time. From Sentinels, just missing a jump there. I mean, a deep dart, I believe, broken early, so Zekken didn't want to take the peak timing. So just holding down towards elbow. For Gen.G again, happy to play this one nice and slowly.
कोणाकडे जेकनकडे आल्टवर खेळत होता ना तो तुला बोलला ना आल्टवर खेळला तो मागचा
may well get relayed to the rest of the team. Yeah, you can see it being pinged out here actually.
Timing bug.
So they're expecting the stack to be over towards mid and A.
Incredibly deep positioning here. Hunter's Fury going to be offloaded from this particular position. That's Lakia returning it. See if he can get a kill, but only to one tag. Spotting out position. Interesting usage of the ult, but with 50 seconds left now, Sander make a way over towards that B side. Cosmic Divide will cut this one up nicely.
योरूले परवडतो रे बघ ना घुसायला त्याचं ते सगळं तोडत जातो तो सायफरचे सगळे ट्रॅप
and this composition has so many different ways of getting into B
आणि हे लोक आता मी हे केलं नोटीस केलं शेरवी तो ह्याचा क्लोन जातो मग योरूचा त्याच्या मागूनच जातात ते लोक बघ बरोबर
हो ना कोण पुढे नाही गेलं पाहिजे murky territory of Byte onto the B side.
त्यांनी बिलकुल रिस्क नाही घेतली मग इको राउंड असून अल्ट मारला वायपरचा.
When they found Karon, but again, Munchkin is the player that needs to fall to really stand a chance into this one. Yes, it doesn't cover it. Texture alive and kicking, working his way around. He's been found. Sassy drops him. One player left to stand as Lakia crouched, cowering, fear in his heart. He can't a thrifty win for Sentinel.
सेननी बेकार काढला राउंड भाई. डिफ्यूज मारला मग
That is a bizarre one to start us off with. With a pit being invested as well, you think Gen.G has got that wrapped up. It's a gorgeous flash recon play that catches Meteor.
Timing नहीं मिले.
Timing plays all around the spot. All of these Gen.G
सगळे 1v1 बॅटल झालेत नाहीत त्यांच्या. हा ना सगळे टायमिंग नाही गेले. इकडे बघतोय एक तिकडे बघतोय एक.
Ended up hurting them. Not something that's that replicable, but certainly one that Sen can take to the bank.
They will be moving forwards now. Plenty of money left.
Okay.
And a lot of equipment comes with it. Full weaponry. Zekken.
Zekken ने बाय ना केला alt वरती खेळतो.
Seems to have an inkling that maybe Karon's there, possibly from a cam aggressively getting broken.
Yeah, for sure. John Cudy's cam got broken in that spot. Now he knows where Karon basically is. The rest of Gen.G working their way up mid. One of the things that Sen said in their press conference was it was difficult playing against Gen.G, hard to isolate your ones when they travel around in such a pack. But Gen.G are running a 1-3-1 D4 here. Smoking it up, looking to take a little bit of mid. But TenZ has gone walking all the way down the hall, getting good info for his team.
Sound पण मिळाला त्याला.
He's going to be hearing the scurry of the footsteps from Munchkin, maybe even seeking to punish. But he's going to be calling us now for his team. Look at this.
Sassy starts to go.
Yeah, good maneuvers.
याचा रोटेशन आला पुढलं ते सांगितलं कोड नाहीये.
Followed them well straight towards the B side, but it's going to be setting up for that B split. Through tunnels.
Nice.
Not to overflank. He just needs to play to contain. He grabs one.
And the heads will roll. All that space gains. And guess what? Gen.G just sent.
Thank God,
all the way. Looking clean with it. Textures. Got something to say. Still.
Ekaz blade. Oh, shot.
Rest of them finding it into the back wall. But shut down. Traded time. Really quite low. Only 11 seconds left. It's going to be barely able to get onto the side, but Karon has to clear a little bit. He might just have some time. And yes. The Sentinel surely don't let this one slip. A 1v3.
Karon though is going to be able to reposition slightly, and TenZ is weak. Really weak. He's got so wide. Zell says needs to be ready. Karon! Impeccable the aim on top.
Low hai. Chile.
Yes, damage has been done.
त्याच्याकडे Q आहे, E आहे, C आहे.
Ranked to superstardom all the way on the grand stage. He does not seem phased at all. Zekken to face him now. Again, slow walking onto him.
Ala, smoke ala.
The noise and information just being cut away entirely. It could just come down to chance. Cloudburst straight up into the air. Zekken diffusing. Drops down. Fight taken out.
Round 1v3. 1v3 काढला भाई.
Sentinels rips away the chances of that round.
टेन्स नी एवढं काढून पण फायदा नाही रे.
त्यांनी हाय ना हा पुश जो केला ना बघ हावाला
चुकीचा केला,
खूप चुकीचा झाला. एक तर दोघांनी पिक करायला पाहिजे, तर असे एक डाऊन नव्हतं करायला पाहिजे.
तो मिड वाल्याला वाट बघायला पाहिजे होती.
बापरे, आता प्रेशर हटला जेनजी वाल्यांचा, सगळा प्रेशर हटला, सगळा एकूण एक प्रेशर हटला.
बघ ना सगळे हाफ शील्ड वरती आहेत.
Kraken is just that guy. I mean, he just seems unshaken throughout this entire tournament, throughout all of kickoff. Doesn't matter the obstacles that you've thrown at the guy.
Sassy खपला भाई.
The team as well have just been persevering.
Sassy ने kick
केला. Drone gets all the info he's looking for. Possibly seeing multiple targets. Now the Sassy his own.
Oh my!
Look at the targets. It just cleaved right through them.
What a perfect counter to what GenG were going for. Immaculate stuff from Sen.
Sassy ने सुसु काढली समोरची.
Still throughout all of this, they're looking to go aggressive in other places. Tens has gotten deep. He's going to be able to hear rotations. I think that's such a pivotal part of Sen playing in this finals. GenG love to rotate around the map on their attack side and their defense side, getting people into good positions like that for info.
Impeccable. Clear game plan, just disrespecting them.
But also Sassy, really, the playmaker there.
Of course.
I thought he was going to get overwhelmed. You saw him get the tag onto Meteor. And I thought that Sen were going to get
अरे लोक लास्टच्या वेळेपर्यंत खेळतात बघ.
20 सेकंड पर्यंत थांबतात ना, तेव्हाच थांबतील बघ ते. 20 सेकंडला निघतील बघ बरोबर.
टाइम युटिलायझेशन आहे यार.
बरोबर 20 ला निघतील किंवा सेव्ह करतील.
There's no punish in sight when Sassy was ulting.
मला वाटतं सेव्ह असेल यांचा. सेव्ह असणार.
टाइम नाही.
GenG are just going to go for a save here after Karon got them a 1v3 to start their economy flourishing. Sen making sure it dampens just slightly. I don't know whether they saw Zekken's operator this round. They didn't really interact with it very much because he went for the peak double doors at the beginning. I have a feeling that GenG don't know that this is online. You can see he hasn't even shot a bullet.
save काय टेन्शन नाही.
So that could certainly be another twist in the tail as we head into the next.
Buy it full buy रे तरी पण काय
नाही. They have purchased that one. They might be able to check the money at least in the follow-up now into this round. But yeah, here's that play before as well.
It's so lovely.
Vulnerability as well.
Yeah, especially with Zelda's snake bite.
Real nice.
Zekken is going to be here to try to receive this hit if it comes through A.
He's taking a gander through double doors, at least looking like he wants to. Wall.
I feel like this is going to be so difficult when Meteor has Zero online.
5 tags though. 2 found. Deep control of mid. Now Karon is playing a really far back position here.
हर एक राउंड पुश करतोय रे.
झालं.
Karon ची विकेट आहे बघ.
Against the wall, could just be walking straight into a shot miss though. It's a jiggle. And guess what? The entirety of the site has been gained. Given up entirely here, just from that dimensional drift. Out of it now, Meteor. The plants,
and this is
securing
brutal.
it for texture.
You're going to end up having pulls on this. You've got people running. You know, Munchkin's got
lineups that
they can throw. Offside post buy time for post lurks to come through. This is the game plan for GenG. They're not in a position to
कुठे थांबलाय.
so many areas.
तीन लाइनअप लाइनअप यायला लागले लगेच.
multitudes of targets. Again, this all causing issues, and it is too much to overcome, too much to clear. Ults are being rattled off here.
Oh, anti-flash होता है.
Traded, and now the flash, pop flash, round the corner. Tens, it was on dodge. Meteor, massive play. Second sticking inside the cage. Destroyed and dropped. GenG finding that bit for your right, Josh. It all began just how long it took Sen to really get the ground. Get started onto the retake.
Frankly, the push into main, I have no problems with. Ten's doing a great job, but how is Meteor turning this? Still getting a double kill out of it. If you remember back to the defense side pistol that Sen ran.
Oh, bhai, kadak re.
They flash peeked second in. Meteor dodged it, got the kill. I'm just getting flashbacks of that again. The GenG players are so skilled and have demonstrated that all year.
Bhai, commentator पण बोला GenG players are so skilled.
Slight edge being held now for GenG.
समजून जावा.
Rounds have been oscillating wildly back and forth. It follows the trends. It's Sen's turn. GenG playing quite split up though. 2 players. Texture and Karon. A dynamic duo. Making waves. Focusing on that. That was a potential reclear being called there by Sen. Let's just go even.
And no flash peek being used there, so that was just a dry double swing. 1 for 1. And Munchkin's wall not going to be available to them if they hit A. So that puts more pressure on Karen now, but he still has the ult to be able to work with, so not a major problem for Gen G. Aggressive.
Not a far back position.
जर A call आला तर लगेच A ला होतो, B retreat होतो, B आला तर B retreat होतो.
Down, deep dart, potential setup.
Push का करते हैं जेवढा क्या ना मागून.
Yeah, I think if that dart had been broken, he was looking to flash peek in there and make
it
round.
चाकू है, दोन फ्लॅश आहेत आणि मॉली गोळा.
Front of the cosmic divide. Oh, Sassy goes down. Head rips clean off. Dart through into the back cosmic divide. Gives him the perfect exit strategy here. Pop flash through. The texture. He's aware of it. Facing aware at least.
Anti flash खेळत होता.
And any chances for Sentinels into this round. Crumbled. Once more before our eyes. Again, Gen G in astounding control.
Commanding position there. Having lost the Viper early on, to still be able to deal with that A-main aggression and come out on top is pretty excellent. Gen G, we're talking about the fact that their composition, honestly, they're happier with it on the attack side, or at least people expect them to do more on the attack side with this comp. And that was what blew us all away when Sen played against Gen G last. Now we're really seeing how comfortable they are in these spots. It doesn't all have to be fast execs with the Jet and the Yoru. Celsius would love to keep the weaponry.
Oh, no way. Flash through.
He spotted Texture.
Oh! Texture spotted him.
भाई
QT, last one
टेक्स्चरने काय मारले बघितलं तसा आवाज आला तसा.
Push back.
Huh?
Enemies and adversaries, so if they do
अरे तो भाई तो योरूला मारायला चाललेला पळत पळत.
Almost similar scenes here.
ओपो.
Here's that opening when it's trying to re-clear out through.
टेन्सला भाई दिसायच्या आधीच मारला.
The level of quality in terms of the rifling in this match is unbelievable. But we didn't get to see it in the upper bracket final between these two teams. Sen talked about, Kaplan in particular mentioned, the atmosphere was bad when they began that game, and they crumbled on split.
Sensa the
entirety of the series off on a bad note, and Sen, though they tried to recover it on Lotus, ended up going out in a flop. Now we are actually seeing Kazakhstan be really nice shots, bringing it to the Gen G players, making it more of a game that's about how they play the macro and how prepared Gen G are rather than just running over them with the individualism.
Because that's the first step, right? To conquer Gen G, you kind of just need to be matching them pound for pound with the aim.
And man, how difficult that is, because Texture, Meteor, Karen
are all
Gen G in terms of form, they might be like all three top 5. I don't know who else you would put up there, because you watch Texture, Meteor, or Karen in a 1v1 against anybody else in this tournament, you have to favor them.
Yeah, you do. I mean, they're just cerebral. The way they move, instinctual in nature, really. The way they tackle and handle a lot of those clutches, and just the aim and the movement on top of it. It's all there, perfect package for a lot of those players. So that is the first obstacle that Sen have to remove. Getting that confidence back, at least.
Push केला दोघांनी.
Mid though here, creeping once more and crawling.
It's a kill trip, but with no one really to play off.
Okay. हाँ भाई.
All given up. So Meteor
गेला
building
घुसला.
up towards.
Okay. Side वर कोण नाही. Be clear है.
Clear out most of this side as well. Basically the human drone just spotting out these trips. Kill trip. Lucky. Wait a second.
तरी मारला रे.
Is there onto the angle in time. Gets the punish onto Lakia. Caron. The chance to really to clean up, but no, the crosshair placement just wasn't expecting that one. Deep contact play and push out from Sentinels. Feels like they're in a really advantage situation.
Okay,
definitely. They're realizing the fact that Caron and Munchkin have been playing in very passive positions. They found them both. Munchkin is so far away. And yes, this has taken a lot of time, but it's set them up in a great situation to win the round.
Chance of playing the lineups anymore for Munchkin. Meteor, Texture have to go absolutely massive, but instantaneous there with the trade and shut down in time. So the Sentinels are willing to make it that repeat of what happened last time these two teams clashed here. That fourth one on the board, steadily, slowly but surely, chipping away, trying to make it at least even at half.
Look how John gets at it after the filter came through, but it's this repush, not looking to try to go for the retake at all, fully waiting to try to flush out Karen and Munchkin before they ever go.
हर ठिकाणी जाताना दोन लोक जातात बघितलं का?
हां, दोन the post plans.
मिडला पण गेले दोघ जण गेले.
This is the kind of stuff that made
म्हणजे एक जर मेला तर ट्रेड हाय लगेच.
ट्रेड लगेच आहे.
We'll forget about the last 2 times they played it.
Yeah, I mean they've had their confidence knocked there as well. That just from the way that the map veto ended up shaking out. Wasn't the first map that they ended up picking. Deep dive here, Texture want to take advantage of this one, but it's broken. Sassy, they did miss second. Hello, spots it up in the air. It's all about the reactions. Follow through there, just a clone, but surely area and teammates flooding back in. All to his avail. Munchkin though has managed to get himself a gap into the A site, but the spike has been dropped down into the center of the mid, and it's all down to the individual plays. You can see Karon also.
भाई घाम गेम प्ले झाला यांचा मिडला.
Full territory gain down into mid for Sen, but they
Karon गेला मिडला.
Their eye on almost every single angle here, and guess what? Plenty of backs facing away from them. It's majestic. And just like that,
Karon ने गेम फिरवला भाई.
What should have been a slam dunk, Sen left looking in every possible direction, barely able to get it, but they do in the end.
दोन लोकांना मारायला कुठे मिडवर चालतायत रे समजत नाही.
2v5 भाई.
माझा गेम लॅग झाला.
माझा पण झाला. चॅट मध्ये यायला लागलं फ येतंय रे.
आला रिफ्रेश मारायला
काय रे यांचं नेट. Karon the god भाई.
Final round, Zekin glass cannon operator. You watching here as he tries to take contact.
Dodging that initial wave of utility. Won't be too many targets.
Now once more, Brent. Sassy drones out through B main, making it feel like perhaps there's some level of aggression happening over there. They're trying to prompt the reactions out of Gen G. But this team is so smart. They wait for a full commitment before they decide to do stuff like that.
कोण खपणार आहे.
And Munchkin's actually here, making his way all the way up through. It's not a full commitment on the A split just yet.
Not quite.
Make a play or get some info.
Does like to take the initiative though.
Viper कुठे पोहोचलाय बघ.
फ्लॅश काय करतो बघ तो.
Holding. Util potentially the flash there, I believe.
त्यांना माहिती आहे की भाई ऑफर असेल. असू शकतो इकडे ऑफर.
Again, it's just pure silence. They're letting.
पूर्ण 1 मिनिट झालं बघ आल्टी.
Open that they make a mistake.
तरी अजून तिकडेच जागा नाही सोडले.
होल्ड बघ ना कसं केलंय.
हा ना.
They're not going to get back.
अरे यार परत याचं सुरू झालं.
परत झालं.
Defensive aggression.
Drone. They should trigger that reaction with the
knife.
Cancels it. Reactions there from Zekin. Repositions there with a dash. But another goer thinks still with the door open wide. He realizes it is back. He's open to 2 different directions, and he's really got to try and watch this one here. The rest of his team. GG are moving into the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, they're going towards Zelsis, who's reinforced with John Cudy's utility.
Players haven't budged. Snared into space. Celsius hearing that one broken. Now wants to take the fight to him. Out wide onto the wall here. He's worked and wiggled his way into the back of the side again. Back to it. Reload. Oh my. 7 seconds left with the spike drop down. Sentinel surely a favourite. And yes,
indeed they are.
No chances here for this first half for Munchkin. So maybe you got to think it's a better look for Sentinels here on Breeze.
Confused झाले करायचं काय.
Competitive opening to this game on a map where most would write them off. Gen G dominated this map when the sides were flipped.
जो योरू मेला ना तिकडे त्यामुळे तो कन्फ्यूज झाले.
कुछ नाही करू शकले.
Punish the player coming in. There was a trip there onto Texture. He had to kind of adjust in mid-air.
अरे पण हा तुला माहिती आहे ब्रीज आहे ना ब्रीज. आपला काय बोलतात त्याला. डिफेंडिंग मॅप पे हा. हां आणि ऑलरेडी 7 भाई. Gen G 7 वरती.
So much. Wow, what a way to start things off. Let's just jump right into it. Our Verizon high-speed moment of the match came in the first half. We had multiple, as a matter of fact. It was
Gen G
your choice, pick of the litter here, IPOC, because Zekin, this kid's put on a show.
He just looks so clean time and time again. These high-pressure scenario as well. Last alive here, like back against the wall. Try and find a bailout round to really try and recover this. We're so used to seeing him now in this scenario.
And it's ridiculous. Because this guy just turned 19 in his first international final. He had that birthday while he was here in Spain. And the journey for this guy has been long. When we first saw him internationally, he was only 17 years old, playing XN on stage. At the time I talked to, his parents were there with him, going along to Istanbul. But they've been with him the whole way. This is a picture from Americas of his grandma out with him, supporting in the crowd. He's a young guy, but he's had his family all the way behind him throughout his journey here in Valorant. now he's at a point where he's in an international final and really in that discussion for best player in the world.
Yeah, what's so impressive here about Zekin is just not only does he carry himself like an absolute pro, but the man is just so meticulous in the server high mark. But he's going to need to continue to output more if this team wants to get back into it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Josh was leaning on this in the cast as well. You've got people on the other side, Texture and Meteor to really overcome. Karen obviously being the clutch master on that controller role. Zekin's definitely going to have his hands full today if he wants to continue frontline versus this Gen G roster.
Gen G's post-plan's got them a great half here, but their comp also excels in the retakes. They have a lot of util to bully Sentinels out. Gen G looking strong in this first map.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult here for Sentinels. And for Gen G, hey, it ain't going to be a walk in the park either. I'm expecting some fireworks in this second half. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Pistol round is where really the importance of it. Gen G winning. Was it 6 out of 6 when they last played each other?
So now 7 out of 7. And heading into the 8, Sen need to be able to get some of those online.
Okay.
And this is the half where we saw Sen have no success. Kaplan said that they came in with an anti-strat that they thought would work, but called it wishful thinking in hindsight.
Always Meteor just taking that fight straight up.
Good punish though. A lot of damage. Yeah, it's not the kill, but they forced that back. Denied Gen G a little bit of space. Now this drone's really going to make it feel like it's a commitment into B. Instead, the spike is going in the completely opposite direction. I think this is looking more like an A-split where you rely on the fact that Zekin has holes control.
Gen G, they do play to those sound cues. Oh my, just missing a chance of the timing there for Tens, but with the orb now bloomed and blossomed, can start to get a move on onto the A side still. It's Karon. Walk down into the corner position. Guess what, Zekin punishing the rotation, and 3 heads roll. Down and out here, Karon blinded as everything. Zekin, they're chanting for it. You can feel it. The wall, the crowd behind him. And he knows what they want.
Ten spots him.
Munchkin spotted.
Denied, but that is the first pistol that Sen have put on the board in the rivalry that's blossoming between these two teams. And what a fantastic attack side strat that is. So much better.
Pistol round
in the third map of the upper bracket final.
Map control map control
They use holes against a team that has a solo initiator. It just ticks every single box to me. Learning from the failures of before.
Of how rotate heavy Gen G play. I mean, maybe a bit of fakes and finesse might be just exactly what Sentinels ordered. Clearly doing that prep work here. Now the orbs can be farmed up, granted for them, without too much pushback. Of course, got to be aware there's always a chance that they could fight back.
There's a slight bit of danger in this round, Bren, because Meteor managed timing the recon dart that Sassy threw into mid, I believe. So they have no idea that Meteor is positioned this deep, but no one on Sen looks like they want to get into that area at all. Sen running a default looking a little more like when Loud played against Gen G. Not going for the early round group ups in A main, but happily now grouping up together to make sure that they can trade out the lower eco players. And like I said, I don't think they realize that Meteor is this deep.
Meteor got the walkabout to face early on. John surely hearing this one now, facing him, but it's too much to overcome there. Meteor with that Sheriff, and again, a bit of straight damage through Tens. Let's try and at least lock this one down into the side of the smoke. So, 3 players still left to stand here for Meteor. Find that one, maybe it could be a chance, but it does go down in the end. Flushed out wide and found in the end. There it is.
It is a conversion for Sen. It looked a little difficult to be able to get across the line. It's always going to be tough when Gen G have smokes that you have to play around. They're pushing into the smoke here to blind Karon. Clearly they have a good understanding of how Karon one of the key antis that they came into the last time on Breeze was that knifing Karon so that he can't use pulls. They thought that would give them easy access to the A site. In fact, Gen G have way more layers to it than that, but you can start to see Sen looking to break them down. And now coming into a bonus round. Do we have another great strategy called here by the brain trust of John and Kaplan. And Drew as well. I should give credit to my kilt-wearing neighbor from the north.
You certainly should, yeah.
takes a village after all. But it has been evened up in terms of that scoreline, 7-2-7. And like you said, the bonus round is where Sentinels will look to see if they can get over that hurdle here. Texture. Going to be able to play anti towards that one, and everybody playing inside this cloud burst, not expecting him. He bounces up. Already just locks that one down. These Sentinel players are left scrambling and wondering exactly where these players are coming from. Texture now with the dash. Smoke to play in 4-10s here, but how do you really overcome this? You just can't. It's just raw mechanical prowess on display. An easy one is what it feels like here for Gen.G. Overcoming all sorts of obstacles that were thrown at them.
And I think that's an example of what was going wrong for SEN last time. Gen.G are just so good when it comes to defending the standard hits. And this is a very standard A split. Gen.G's crossfires are amazing. Always play around pyramid because he has smokes to dip and dive inside of. And then you have Lakia up towards stairs, Texture in that gutter. They've always got triangles going on that are extraordinarily difficult to break. The weakness with Gen.G's defense is to do with Lakia and him being overstretched, having to run around halls,
jump
a
spot
nest.
heard. Real opportunity. You are right, it is that weakness. That's why they have to put bodies into it. But now a double walk up and face. Second, got to be ready for this one here. Is it going to be cleared? It's an off angle. Lakia. And the crosshair precisely on exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, Gen.G are going to go for those occasionally because that is the weakness of their composition, and they need to make sure that they have info in that area of the map. Meteor going for an info peek when they're up 5v4.
Everybody's got their backs turned to every possible position. Texture, though, seems to be more aware of it than he is. Shuts down. Sassy out in the open. Down into the back of the side, and it is traded and cleaned. Get control of the B side and the plan online. Even more so.
10 side doable.
Texture, Lakia and Kara. Time of it.
2v3.
They know that Celsius does not have the orb on the spike. They can see
that. ADS ne kiti martat.
ADS ne bekar martat. Tanche पण one tap पण देतात.
One tap. Pull up. Reclear. Just feeling unsafe. But control the main once more. He can play this post plant from this position still. Smokes are available. Lakia. At least Caron puts that one up, but a kill found still. It's down to just 10.
He's got to do it all.
Does have a nade, but still he's got to deal with this. And what a play to make. Texture so damn aware, but there's the shot still. Will the nade land in time? Lakia's sticking. Spam damage! He's just about got it!
10 squad hai bhai.
1 by 1 second. Bhai 1 second.
10 squad.
That is cold! That split-second decision to pull out the fragment grenade and make sure that you have additional damage. What a 1v3!
That's on a knife's edge though, isn't it? Look at it.
My
God. Look at it slow down.
Super 0.031 RT. 1 second padna hai.
He's drawn the game back 8-8.
Are
where SEN actually have the economy advantage, putting together much better rounds, using more of the map. And Gen.G, even though they're finding advantages, letting that one slip away. This time, Munchkin going wandering, tucking underneath where John Cudy's playing. This is always a dangerous spot. It's obviously a risk if the player on window checks. You're just 100% dead, but taking a risk on a round like this where you have lower economy is absolutely worthwhile.
Oh yeah, it's the time to do it.
And of course, he will be able to hear rotates if they go heavy towards B. And he'll hear them early enough to call those defensive positions.
Here with the bucky. I think he's going to be going for a peek here. Still wants to hold that close angle. With the dart broken, it's going to be pulling players actually. Reaction out of Gen.G, thinking that, okay, well, his presence there, but now the drone adds another level to it. A bit of confusion into the camp for Gen.G, wondering where the hell are these players landing with only 40 seconds left. Time could start to become a problem, but Texture, he was the real danger in this round, at least with those knives, and with him shut down, now it opens wide of Munchkin. Immediately there, no command sent flying, Bucky Gaming! Lakia dropping 10 straight down to it.
सुपर कसम मारता है एक कोई रीलोड एक रीलोड एक कोई रीलोड आइला बरला ओए
Celsius time 12 seconds left. He needs to find this kill, but a rifle has been handed over. It's the spike. John QT head on a swivel.
2v1 आणला भाई
too much to overcome.
Surrounded
man.
Surrounded.
भाई निको राउंड कसा काढू शकतात यार
taking risks. I'm telling you, Munchkin tucking into that spot. You won't see him do it often on a rifle round, but what a time to do it. And Lakia, he gets the perfect glimpse of Tens right before that, but also they had no idea that Caron had already pushed. Down to the halls was in this position. Tens is comment that there's only one person in A main there for sure, because they just had no clue that the Astra was also ready. And just like that, all of Tens could work on V3 undone. Right back at it with the economical disadvantage. And from watching Gen G, they love using Meteor's ult to help them defend sites. It might seem weird using the aura weapon, so there's another player there. Huge pick. Clear win corners and second shut down texture as a player. It's a fast reaction going to be called here with a neural theft, gives him a lot of information. Hunter's Fury, Sassy's hoping that he can at least set this one up. Meteor out wide here with a dimensional drift. He was hoping for a chance to really get that punish onto Sassy, but it's all cancelled in time, and now the rest of his team flooding in. Munchkin spots it, just the shoulder, and finally the kill straight to the dome. A wider peak indeed, but it's going to be faced and sprayed through entirely. Tens finally deals with him. Pesky intruder to a site that should have been theirs. And Lakia is out wide, firing that util. A pull already going to be used and utilised. 3 players left standing now for Gen G. Meteor already in position. 1v2 for Celsius. Doesn't know where they are. Wall up, reposition spots. Caron, splash. Blinded himself. Caron with the follow-up. Gen G a rough spot there. But I think one of the key problems is that when Sentinels got in position to try to hit the B side, I believe Zekan's waiting for another piece of utility there. He's just delaying, waiting to peek at the right time and sets up Munchkin for the triple kill. If they had been able to move a little faster and had that set up a little quicker, Munchkin probably ends up just going something like 1-for-1. Sen are in a much better spot. Nevertheless, that was an eco round for them. We come in 8-10. Rifles again online. And Sen on an eco swing round with big ults for Gen G. Massive ults. So far this map, I mean, it's just been a ridiculous tightrope walk, hasn't it? Either side, just Thrifty's making it nice and even, potential chance, but overall Gen G just holding that edge. They saw Lakia droning through double doors there, so they should have an idea that there aren't too many players halls unless it's being pushed. But that's not where Sentinels are going. Looking instead to dominate mid and set up this line.
अच्छा मिडला त्या वॉरवरती जर तुम्हाला पुश घ्यायचं तर 2 जण लागतील.
But it doesn't look like this round. Textures planted himself on locking directly down into the tunnel angle. Can they cause a distraction in B main that pushes people into Zekan's crosshair? It's all about the reactions, but Texture, of course, he's favoured. On LAN, already in position.
Angle down
It's all on Zekan. Celsius seeking to just sow that chaos and discord into the map, at least with the pit laid down. Gen G feel it really imperative to try and clear this one, but they're already just losing players. Sentinels toppling like flies. Mid way deep.
Time texture चा mid cover बघ.
Is going to be rejoining his team.
कसला लावलाय बघ angle
that area with 20 seconds left. Away and on high, but still they're surrounded with this pit. How do they even get themselves into the site? It's 12 seconds time working against them again. Lakia to play to do the most. Spoiler, there it is. Finally spraying them through with 5 seconds down. No chance of sticking. If there's any time, and even if there was, Lakia could have absolutely sealed it up anyway. Beautiful work from Gen G.
इको परत इको गेले
आता इको ना आता नाही आता हा राउंड हाच राउंड होता त्यांच्याकडे
आता इको जाणार आता पैसे नाही
आता इको आणि त्याच्यानंतरचा पण
गेला
मॅच पॉइंट all of these Gen G players, they're so skilled they make it look easy. It's almost every
level 2 Masha welcome to the stream.
Gen G
happy Holi said happy Holi
wiping them out.
Holi chardik shubhecha.
This is a map where they're favored. Sure, it's closer than it was last time, but it's remarkable as Sen take a timeout what Gen G have done with this squad. This is not like Sen where it's big heavy hitters return into the stage.
यार पण मला जेकनचं वाईट वाटतंय यार.
ट्राय करतोय रे
ट्राय नाही जेकनला टेन्शन तरी साथ द्यायला पाहिजे त्याला कोणीच साथ देत नाही.
This is a new roster. Sure, some people
टेन्शन पण हार्ड फुल पूर्ण आतमधून खेळायला पाहिजे यार.
To a stage like this. And Gen.G are on a 9-match win streak, beating out DRX, becoming the top Korean
team,
beating PaperX, becoming the top Pacific team, and beating every other playoffs to find themselves here with map V2 advantage in the grand finals, 2 rounds away from locking up map 1. The pressure doesn't phase them. I think would be an understatement. They look elated on stage.
Just having fun. They're happy to be here, absorbing it all up. And yeah, I mean, listen, the pressure probably would have gotten to some of these players a little bit ahead of time when they're playing against the top, at the time, Korean team. That was DRX, even in just the kickoffs. I mean, Gen.G, this is a squad that was put together. Really, a tremendous amount of doubters. Surely knock down every single obstacle they faced and more.
And now the pressure is on Sen's side. They've taken this tactical timeout, and it's going to be for this round.
ह्यांनी ना एक फास्ट वाला पुश द्यायला पाहिजे. ह्यांनी खूप बोल करून दिले. W हां W पुश द्यायला पाहिजे. कारण एवढे राउंड यांनी खूप पॅसिव्ह काढले. पॅसिव्ह नाही होतं त्यांच्याकडे.
हां लास्ट 20 सेकंड मध्ये पुश आले बघ W मारला पाहिजे.
आता हा बघ हा परफेक्ट होता बघितलं. असा पाहिजे होता राउंड.
In this position, he's already found Celsius. Where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-through? It's not there. Karon, the supportive util, the smoke to just prop it up and divide up the entirety of the side. And now a tasty morsel has been claimed with the spike drop down. The advantage again, rolling its way to Gen.G. It's Sentinels that are forced to react.
Unbelievable play from
Spike यांच्याकडे. Spike गेला नाही जाऊ शकत कारण तिकडून अँगल लावलाय. अँगल लावलाय तिकडून.
An almost impossible spot that Zekan and John find themselves in.
Gen.G are not giving them anything. Diligence.
Mid मधून angle लावलाय.
No crumbs.
भाई.
Viperच्या कॉलवर सगळे.
Angle, never overextending. 30 seconds remaining.
अरे भाई काय बफर होतंय?
नाही परत बफर.
तुझं पण झालं?
अडकलं. ओ.
आलं भाई फ.
राउंड संपला असेल तेवढं.
यार मेन राउंडला तुम्ही यार
गेला संपला राउंड
काढला यार राउंड.
Gen.G जिंकली.
अरे यार काय भाई काय झाले भाई नेटला यांच्या. अब फ.
Pushing up with an ace to get to map point.
अब दाखवला. आयला
of the grand final. And not just any old ace, not an eco ace, in an incredibly important round under so much pressure, hitting, running towards his opponent.
अरे यार
बस आला डायरेक्ट बाय करतोय.
भाई काय
making a mockery of the Sen after force up again.
नाही ना फोर्स करायला लागणार आणि आता
not looking strong.
नाही आता नाही काढू शकणार ते.
Scraps man. Pure scraps.
Zekan बाबा वरती ते भाई.
To drag it into that territory to stand a chance in this round against Gen.G.
Mid मध्ये 3 जण
I think they found the most success when they've tried to find people, push people into aggressive positions, but that's almost impossible to feel good about lurking and then taking a 1v1 if your player has, you know, a bulldog or a stinger even.
अरे हर्ट्स वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. लय दिवसांनी आलाच रे. YT ची स्ट्रीम लाव. YT ची मुख्य YT वरच आहे ना. नाही ट्विच ची लावली. अच्छा म्हणजे ते लोड होतं रिलोड होतं म्हणून YT ची बोलतेस काय. लाकी अब कुठे उभा आहे.
He's not thinking about it.
Not thinking about it at all. Lakia punishment is there in place over the top with the knives, dodging, dashing, and away for one blade.
Zekanला help करा रे. त्याला help करा.
Needs that rejuvenation. He's got it, but instantly again.
Push केला. Zekanने full try केला.
Fundamentals off the bloody chart for Gen.G, and this is surely with the map pushed into the positions already there. Clone revealed the position, flash through into the box. Sassy's out wide and alone. Scared for his life, too much to deal with in Gen.G. Lead the charge here. Grand finals of Madrid taking map 1.
Next bind है.
Bind बघायला म्हणजे.
Looking calm and collected doing it too.
Calm रे, full calm.
It could be a long series, but Gen.G are going to try and wrap it up as quickly as possible. They have the double map bans. They got to pick
पण मी काय बोलतो म्हणजे ह्यांनी ना ले पॅसिव्ह खेळले. सेन ले पॅसिव्ह.
हो ना. लास्ट 20 सेकंड पर्यंत
सांगतो. ले पॅसिव्ह. अरे सेन आहे ना. सेन तुला सांगतो सेन पॅसिव्ह साठी ओळखलीच जात नाही. सेन एकदम हार्डकोर ओळखली जाते आणि Gen.G पॅसिव्ह साठी ओळखली जाते.
उलट झालं
ते. अरे अब Gen.G ची जेव्हा अटॅक साइड होती ना
तेव्हा ते लोक 20 म्हणजे लास्टच्या 20 सेकंदापर्यंत खेळायचे, कारण जेनजीचा गेम प्लेस तो आहे. पण अरे सेन वाल्यांचा गेम प्लेस नाही, तो कशाला करताय तुम्ही लास्टच्या सेकंद पर्यंत
थांबून राहिले.
मग सेन वाल्यांचा गेम प्ले तो मधला कसा घुसलेला बघ कसा डायरेक्ट, तो गेम प्ले होता
सेकंड लास्ट राऊंड 11वा राऊंड,
तो गेम प्ले होता भाई. अरे यार किती पब्लिक आहे भाई,
परत बफर रे
काय बघते किती पब्लिक इथं आले यार, कुठं मला दिसते ना भाई. 151K
150.
अरे भाई तारीखला 209 बघते व्हॅलोरंट पेक्षा.
व्हॅलोरंटला काही इज्जतच नाही भाई, तारीखच 209 घेऊन बसले.
209 भाई तारीखला, आणि भाई व्हॅलोरंटला 151 भाई.
ठीक आहे भाई. कायडे पण 50,000 घेऊन बसले.
कायडे भाई 51 पायके भाई. ओनो पिक्सेल काय करतोय? अच्छा G2 तो भाई CS भाई, तो CS चीच करणार तो अजून आला नाही. सबरोचा करतोय, व्हॅलोची करतोय भाई. हर्ट्स अरे काय सोडून बिडून दिलंस काय व्हॅलोस तू की खेळतोयस? भाई गेम प्ले यार. आणि यांना आहे ना, तुला सांगतो ह्यांना आहे ना सांगायची गरज नाही लागत माहितीये, की फक्त हे लोक एवढाच कॉल देतात की ए ला जायचंय. हे लोक बरोबर
सगळं माहितीये स्वतःला काय करायचंय,
स्वतःला काय करायचं ते पण माहिती, आणि टायमिंग पण बघतो ते लोक की मला या टायमाला काय करायचं, जो ओव्हर टाइम झाला तर मी काय करायचं हे पण माहिती. आपल्या इथं मी जर पुढे गेलो तर कर्म काय बोलतो माहितीये मला, अरे तू कशाला पुश केलं भाई,
तू डुअलिस्ट असतो काय? हा यांच्याकडे बघितलं
कर्माचा गेम नाही सांगतो. कर्म काय खेळत होता एवढं दिवस आहे ना, नुसता राहिना खेळत होता, आणि त्याला खेळायला लावला मी आर्बर चेंबर. भाई आर्बर घेऊन पुश करते पुढे, नंतर व्हायला लागला मी खेळणारच नाही यार आर्बर. अरे तो भाई कंट्रोलर आहे भाई, तू साईड वर खेळ
मागे
राहिल्यासारखं पुढे चाललंय भाई. नाही रे, पण आपल्याला एकच एजंट खेळून काय फायदा नाही. आपल्याला आहे ना, मला तरी 2 एजंट मेन झालेत माझ्या, रैना आणि स्काय, आणि एक कंट्रोलर मला शिकून घ्यायचा. एक कंट्रोलर
तू गेकोला आता हात नको लावा आयडिया, तुझ्यामुळे मी रैना सोडलाय, आता मला गेको खेळू दे.
मी गेको करणार होतो, पण आता हा बोलतो आता
ऑब्झर्वर मध्ये जाऊ काय? मी ऑब्झर्वर मध्ये बसू का? ऑब्झर्वर
गावाला आलो. अच्छा गावाला आलं, जत्रा बित्रात आलोय काय गावची? नाही गावाला नाही, शिमग्यासाठी गेला असेल तो, मला असं वाटतं. नाईस ट्राय सेंटिनल्स, जस्ट मेकिंग इट इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर द व्ह्यूअर्स. कोण आहे रे हा डेव्हिड? सेन सिटीचा माणूस आहे, तुला पचत नाही का त्यांची हार? हा फर्स्ट लॉस
बाइंड काढायला पाहिजे.
फर्स्ट लॉस बट नेक्स्ट गोना बी मच बेटर. ओके, Genji are here to put Asia on the map 1 in the bag.
Genji Pacific ची आहे ना.
Genji composer on bridge is commendable. बरोबर आहे यार. अरे पण सेन पिक्स होता रे ब्रिज.
हा ना, आणि सेकंड बाइंड यांचा पिक आहे Genji.
बाइंड मध्ये तुला खरं सांगू म्हणजे मला असं नाही बोलायचं, पण मी एक असं अनालिसिस म्हणून सांगतो की बाइंड हा पॅसिव्ह मॅप आहे, पुशचा मॅपच नाही
पॉइंट तो आहे.
आणि जर सेन जर थोडीशी आता इथे पॅसिव्ह खेळायला पाहिजे सेन. आता इथं जर सेनने उलट्या केलं ना, जेनजीला काय बोलू शकत नाही, कारण जेनजीचा गेम प्लेच तो आहे भाई, पॅसिव्हच आहे. सेनचं बघायला लागेल आता काय करते यार. टीम नीड्स अ कॅरी. लेट्स गो Genji 1-0. हा कोरियन वाले तर त्यांना सपोर्ट करणार साहजिक आहे. We still got the 3. Munchkin get the ace. हाय Munchkin ने मारला ace. Munchkin वाइपर होल्ड आहे, फुल वाइपर होल्ड आहे.
What a fantastic start it is for Gen G. I'm now joined by their coach Solo and Jen to do some translations. Now,
translator.
It wasn't as competitive. They clearly made some adjustments coming into this. Did you guys also have to make some adjustments on Breeze as well?
감독님, 지난번 센티널스를 만났을 때보다 훨씬 더 접전인 경기가 펼쳐졌는데요. 센티널스도 많이 준비를 해왔고 또 젠지에 맞춰서 좀 카운터를 많이 준비해온 것 같았는데 젠지도 오늘 하면서 좀 즉석으로 전략에 변화를 주던가 아니면 어떤 준비를 했는지 궁금합니다.
저희가 원래 하던 대로 하려고 했는데 센티넬이 생각보다 라우드식으로라고 해야 되나? 준비를 잘 해왔더라고요. 그래서 저희는 라우드식으로 하면 어떻게 이겨야 될지 알고 있었기 때문에 그 후반전에는 좀 저희가 좀 더 수비적으로 해서 게임을 이긴 것 같다고 생각합니다. 네.
Well, in the beginning, we tried to play our own game, but Sentinels have done an incredible job coming in heavily prepped, and I feel like today they were playing more of a loud style, so we were trying to figure out how to counter that, and in the second half, we tried to be more defensive and less progressive, I guess, proactive, and trying to counter that loud type of style that Sentinels were pulling out.
Oh, that was a great game plan. Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you very much. Good luck in a map 2.
Gen G picking up right where they left off when they defeated Sentinels on Breeze last time. This time, though, you got a Sentinels that had a bit more up their sleeve, but I think it goes without saying, Gen G, they knew exactly what they game plan was getting ready for this one, Mimi.
Karen मेला तर लाकी राउंड काढून देतो. Karen लाकी मेला तर मंचुरियन राउंड काढून देतो. ठीक आहे मेले तर टेक्स्चर राउंड काढतोय. आणि सेन मध्ये टेक्स्चर नाही नाही चल ठीक आहे टेन्स आणि जेके मेला संपला राउंड भाई. काय भाई
protocols, the fundamentals, they seem to improve time and time again. Sentinels are the perfect sort of team.
मात्र का असे बघतात वाकडे तिकडे.
And I mean players like Karen, obviously Texture, Meteor, the ones that we time and time again talk about, these ones really actually reinforcing that playstyle.
Yeah, I mean they're also, if we want to take a look at a specific round 17, I mean this came off of a 1v3 from Zek and Mimi, and then Gen G's like, hold my bear.
Yeah, I really thought that Zek
हा वाला राउंड ले महत्त्वाचा होता हा वाला जो लाकीने काढला ना हा बॅकअप ले भारी दिलता
but they win a lot of scrappy rounds too, and this in particular is a great example of how good they are at kind of disrupting those timings, getting weird in those thrifties, and oftentimes coming out on top.
Yeah, capitalizing, being creative and reactive to what's going on is also something Gen G have excelled at, and really that comes down to Munchkin being the one to really take hold of exactly, take hold of the mid round and actually push the heat back onto IGL like John QT that we've kind of bigged up as that's where he excels, the mid round, the reaction to information gathered across the map.
Yeah, of course. But let's go ahead though and take a look real fast at our aim lab shoot around with 10s as we break down what we should be expecting here on Bind coming up next.
Yeah, the entry duo for Sentinels, second and 10 10 and 4 in their opening kills. I think they were taking over a lot on the attacking side in a way they weren't in the last Gen G series. However, Gen G's really good at sneaking in, converting those advantages, making the hero plays when they need, and that's what won this map.
All right, well, I do want to hear what Coach Kaplan actually has to say before we get into map 2. He's always got to drop some nuggets. Let's see what he has for us to be ready for Bind.
I'm now joined
अरे
by
तो
Coach Kaplan
एम
from
लॅब
Sentinels.
मध्ये प्रॅक्टिस करायला हां प्रॅक्टिस करायला यूएसपी वापरतोय
But looking at the rest of the
आला
map,
कल्याण आला
no Lotus, no Sunset. So what other areas do you feel like you
कल्याण
guys are
आला
comfortable
भाई
on right now and could potentially give you a map or advantage?
I mean, we feel really good about Bind and Split. We feel great about SEN
यार
after
मुंबईला
yesterday
25
too.
बॉल
I would say
39
Icebox out of the
पाहिजे
maps left in this series is
किती?
our least comfy. So
25 बॉल
obviously
40
they
अरे
put a
इजी आहे
set at
मुंबईसाठी
Icebox for
मग
us. Yeah, and that's where we're at with maps.
Thank you very much, Kaplan, and let's see if they can indeed bring it back on Bind.
Well,
I'm now joined by Coach Kaplan from Sentinels. Now, you guys looked a little bit...
That's what we're wondering, right? And I think, if anything, this is going to be the opportunity, Mimi, for Sentinels to really make the statement.
It absolutely will be. Gen G haven't played this one since Pacific, whereas Sentinels they debuted a new comp playing the Gecko and the Sky and implemented it really well, taking down a Team Heretics who were looking hot.
Yeah, whether or not Gen G have a trump card to obviously pull out. Last time we saw was very one-sided versus Paper X. Whether or not they're feeling as if this is the comfort composition they
player, but it's interesting, obviously, in the coaching views, to hear, the allusion towards Sentinel's prep. Actually, is this a question mark for them? Is this something maybe they're expecting to have to deal with very early on in this veto?
Yeah, he said yesterday, Coach Kaplan being him, that Sentinels was kind of playing for a 3-0, and that's where their prep was focused on in those first 3 maps of the pool, which they predicted. It sounds like what he said in that coach interview is that they're playing for the 3-1 here, that these next 3 maps are critical, and he's absolutely right. Sentinels have not played a ton of Icebox. When we've seen it, it hasn't looked great, and that has been one of Gen.G's strongest maps in this pool. So if Sentinels is going to lift a trophy today, I think these next 3 maps have to be where it happens.
Yeah, there is a
सगळ्यांची आहेत ना शेरवी सगळ्यांची 360 मॉनिटर सगळ्यांची आणि 500 कॉन्स्टंट FPS आहेत प्रत्येक मॉनिटरला विचार करणं यार काय गेम प्ले असेल हां
त्यांची पीसी मध्ये काय असणार रे आयटी अजून नुसता तो गेमच आहे एवढं काय नाही
विंडोज आणि फक्त तेवढा गेम संपलं
हां बस सम खतम
मला हे विचार म्हणजे हे कळत नाही ते लोक बोलण्यासाठी कोणतं सॉफ्टवेअर वापरायचं मला नाही वाटतं डिस्कॉर्ड वापरत असतील
नाही माझं इन गेम वाटतं किंवा टीम स्पीक
हाँ टीम स्पीक मला वाटतं टीम स्पीक खूप जण वापरतात पण मी काय होतं टीम स्पीकचा सर्व्हर बाय करावा लागतो ना असं काहीतरी आहे ना प्रायव्हेट सर्व्हर
जास्त खात नाही ना
हां लय खूप भारी आहे ते रिसोर्सेसच खात नाही ते काही हे बघूया ह्याचा बघूया काय टीम स्पीकचा कितीला भेटतो तो सर्व
big up all the fundamentals, all the ideas Sentinels take. But it just takes one good day of prep, one good team showing up.
Free server शोधायला लागेल.
All right, well, we do have the agent select coming up here. We'll see what we end up getting. And again, I think really it's just, as we keep saying, high pocket is just going to come down to the margins really at the end of the day. The small details.
आपला स्वतःचा काढायचा आहे रे. कितीला भेटतो बघा पाहिजे. ओके गेको आलाय बघ सेंटिनल्स मध्ये
10 थिएटर वर
बाई बघायला मजा येईल आता
भाई डी लोक 2 वेळा खेळली आहेत दोन्ही जिंकली आहेत
अरे भाई जिंकली गेको पॉवरफुल ठरणार या ह्याच्यामध्ये कन्फर्म पॉवरफुल कन्फर्म
गेको मजा आहे ना माइंड मध्ये बघा
Have fun.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Byte being a stage that has been set here between these two teams now for map number 2, and it's a series of unknowns really for Gen.G. I mean, we haven't seen them pull this out in quite some time. They are running the same comp as they did when they qualified for this event of Madrid just before it all occurred in the kickoff. And yeah, some question marks really about their play, about Sen's preparation, how comfortable they are into this. Really, there is some level of that. Sentinels got their pick off when they actually got to wrangle that map, pull that map veto out of the hands of Gen.G.
काय वाटतं पहिला राउंड कोण काढतंय
Gen.G looking to fight over Shower's control. That's what Tens and Zen both are.
They are rapid onto the corner here. White face, 3 players though. Left to fight them. Tens hightailing it out of there. Backs away. The smoke dropped down at his feet as well, just to cover that retreat.
Looking like they want to take another fight immediately over towards
Short. 2 जणांनी पुश केला बघ
just trying to make sure that nobody walked up behind. Risky to trying to take that kind of play, hoping to catch a timing on Munchkin. Had he gone for that? Gen.G's approach here is quite slow. Sassy's already used one of his flashes just to let him know that Fountain was clear at the beginning of the round. But now Lucky and Munchkin. Peeking into John.
John should see this, as you said here, with the damage done.
But John, look, not pushed off that angle. So still getting information that Hookah is clear. That's going to keep 2 players over towards A.
Right here.
So if Gen.G were hoping that that play would open up A as the weak site, it's not going to be the case. Celsius is still
So there will be about to be set up here. Now, what's the emphasis being placed towards this A side with the dogs? Straight through to Molly doing a bit of damage. It has slowed them down. They realize Showers is open. The reposition out into the back of the site. Dizzy up and away. Broken in place. Sassy, good kill. Wingman with the swing. They are absolutely running over this Gen.G players.
Nice round.
Shut down. Sentinels missed the round gained. Just in time for them.
Fantastic pistol.
Passive round निकलता था तारा.
The narrative in the previous match that Gen.G were dominating all of those important rounds, and the player to watch there was TenZ.
दूसरा shot बघा. Meteor
fantastic play from Sassy too, but I love
काय पण लागलं रे हा.
हा ना Meteor ला तोडला.
Meteor ला काय पण लागलं यार.
And making sure that they catch Meteor. To me, when I watched Gen.G last time playing the player that stood out to me was Meteor. He gets so aggressive on Cypher. Oh yeah, little Alpha Year-esque.
The hacker push
supported with the whole pack almost here. Still Outlaw. Texture meets his match, drops to the floor, and these are kills that you don't really want to be funneling into Zekken. Don't want him to get those showstoppers online, but with Shower's control gained, peace of mind granted for but a moment. They still need to deal with potential.
They've actually pinged out where JohnQT was playing in the previous round, and everybody on Gen.G looking to group up over towards Hookah. So perhaps, you know, because they found that positioning previously, they're going to look to try to punish it. Look, again, setting up, making sure the crosshairs are in the right place, but John playing a different angle. Yeah. Escapes without any danger.
B थोड़ा सा hard है, A picture. A थोड़ा सा सोपा है.
Roaming around here, looking for those openings. Here's Meteor. Talk this guy up, picked him up for good reason. His abilities off the chart, and he can just solo open things up.
Oh, but slow there happen.
Aim has to really steady the hand now through and out into the site. They have dropped the players, assaulting the positions.
30 seconds. 57. TenZ holding position, just waiting for these reinforcements to come through. It's looking fairly clean.
Nice round.
Nicely done from Sentinels. TenZ building up to what looks like a fairly speedy Thrash, which could be a massive ultimate to work with.
TenZ है 4.
Chelsea से 2. Side actually for Sen.
JohnQT 2.
अरे flick आला है, flick आला है.
Flick आला है, आवाज का नहीं.
They've really adjusted their defensive setups, or at least did in that
game. और कुछ नहीं. अरे ये तो आवाज
focused heavily on.
ये तो है.
Channel ने म्यूट केला है. नहीं ये तो आता.
नहीं अरे आता आला मगाशी.
हाँ मगाशी नव्हता.
होले आला.
Happy Holi by the way. Happy Holi.
Against Heretics.
सगळ्यांना happy Holi.
काय करताय तुम्ही?
अरे वॉच पार्टी फायनल मॅच.
What the hell बे आता तुम्ही वॉच पार्टी करणार आहे?
आरटी स्ट्रीम बघ आरटी वॉच पार्टी करतो डायरेक्ट.
I was talking about. I mean, the guy just likes to go walkabouts.
हे पण टोपी घालून बाईक करते.
अरे मग आज होळी होती ना यार.
पूजा करून आला काय?
हां मग
माझी आता पूजा झाली बाई.
हां
मुंबई यार डिफिकल्ट रे मुंबईला जिंकणं.
नाही रे. 15 बॉल एला नाही पाहिजे पुश. नाही होऊ शकतो एला कारण बी ला 2 जण आहेत. होऊ शकतं आराम.
चावला त्याला.
काय मॉली आहे बी ती.
काय मारून गेला ते. ते घाण मारून गेला.
यार Meteor यार.
हाई सॅसिन घेतला.
एकच मारला.
ओके 3 versus 2.
Luckier has to plant here with 3 HP. Zekken has a nade. Is he going to be able to get into position to deny this?
Opens himself super wide, but he
nice Zekken.
Just goes for the wider swing and
लागला.
Straight bit of damage to the chest and texture. Back at the site not accounted for. Gun round.
अरे अडकली माझी स्ट्रीम.
माझी पण अडकली. चालू झाली अडकली. अबे काय.
सेटिंग रिफ्रेश कर ना तू. आपलं सेम टाइमिंग होईल.
Gen.G's economy is not going to be in an amazing spot here. You know, Guardian, Bulldog coming into the next one. And there was certainly
almost खाल्लेला यार Meteor ला.
I love this decision to fight backside.
2-1
8 round झाला. Disjointed from Gen.G. But a nice call.
तोच राउंड माझ्याकडे.
अडकली माझं परत.
SEN's defensive
2-1 चालू होते 0.01 चालू झाला राउंड.
At the start of the round and B long. Quite different from the last time they played against Heretics.
Certainly does.
उत्तरा करतोय लॉन्ग मधून.
हां 33 32 31 बरोबर ना.
हां.
Waiting out the molly and Texture's just not scared at all. Look at this guy wide facing.
He wall
worried at all with the wall was down. Plenty of angles left and waiting. Flash through there, getting the acknowledgement. TenZ, what is the call to be made? They are really just out wide and
TenZ
open.
overpick
Wall was down. They should know the timing for it, but it's going down. Flash through and out. There it is. Meteor falls, deleted. Lakia. How's he done that way? I'm not too sure. Jumping up and hopping up. That was a trailblazing kill. I just saw filling up the feed, but the spike dropped down. Texture will seek to reclaim this one, and all this action has happened with still a minute left on the clock.
What is Munchkin's call here? Zelsis is still waiting over by Showers, expecting them to use that teleport, because Sentinels have lost B-long control. Love the play from Sassy and Tens, going for a fake B-long re-clear and then a real one afterwards with the wingman. But it still left things in a different scenario. This is still looking like they could take the teleporter, but Munchkin's getting into more and more of a committed position.
Full patience,
assuming
full patience, full patience.
Into this side, here it is. Munchkin has a snake bite, we'll send it flying just to block off that CT exit at entrance, still the face, and the fight is called. Munchkin, a lot more left to do now here with only a few seconds left. Removes the Seeker, was in his face, a bit of a problem, but again, time against him. And with the spike in the middle of nowhere,
no time.
Clear wing cons, acknowledge there, Celsius, yeah, he runs his way out.
Very well handled from Sentinels in this round, and Sassy stepping up. A lot of what Sassy has been doing on this team, in this new version of Sentinels, has been purely supportive. You don't often see him at the top of the scoreboard, putting himself in good positions to dominate in the same way that we saw him when he was on Loud. But this round, finding great impact. With the re-clear, with the swings as well, shutting down Gen.G. And all of that economic damage that Sentinels did on the bonus now really paying dividends.
Stacking up. It's a much weaker buy-in approach. Molly should be familiar with it by now. It's going to be landing onto B-long. Now's Texture to claim that ground. Slowing it down. In the right moment, waiting for the team to back him up right behind him here. Classic playbook of Gen.G, just contacting in, hoping that they can take a fight and trade it out if it goes poorly. Sassy is the one to watch for here, and look at that Texture. I mean, insane awareness, shots fired and rattled, but there it is, Celsius returning. A few of his own, the spam battle one out, or at least evened out.
Evened out, and Munchkin is looking to try to take his timing down short. He's posted himself in an aggressive position. Second and 10s want to re-clear.
Oh, theft. Molly was sent flying. Oh, he missed it! Still walking into the Molly. How are Gen.G finding all of these kills are onto the A side already?
That is ridiculous. I thought Tens and Zekken had the awareness that Munchkin was there, and Zekken, he ends up getting caught as well, so giving away his positioning. He's going to have to pull out heroics to get this. It's looking awesome for Gen.G.
Yeah, doesn't do anything there. Gen.G doubled up. Almost every position accounted for. Sentinels. Yeah, decisions be made for them. Backing away from this one.
Brutal decision that they have to make in this spot. But terrible economy on Tens, Celsius. How have Gen.G managed to pull that one away?
That's a confusing one.
It felt very similar, though, to that eco round that ended up swinging things when the score was something like 8-8. You know, I think it was round 17, actually, yeah, on Breeze, where Munchkin tucked underneath window over towards B, and he made that aggressive move, and he got rewarded for it. This is similar again. There's a distraction play over towards B, and Munchkin gets into
right side la
right
side
la. Lovely. But I think what actually ruins them,
right side la,
just to hear the molly or realize, but this is the play that I think wins the round for them.
Right side.
Munchkin finds the timing to be able to punish Tens and opens up the A site for his team to rotate.
थोड़ा खाली करा
है ठीक है aware of that before. Tens was looking to म्हणजे ते वरती मेलेले नंतर नाव पण दिसते to catch Munchkin hiding behind that box. Flips the economy on its head, but actually Gen.G are taking 2 Guardians into the round. 3 players that'll die to a double tap.
Max as well. Keep it flowing. Face now out wide. Munchkin. Great awareness. Even better aim. That's 3. Drop down red, filling up the feed. Yeah, of course he returned the fire, but guns being reclaimed out in the open. No chance left here, so Gen.G, but certain now going to be that 3rd round.
Nice.
Happy to do a bit of that damage, but yeah, guess what, Meteor, he's not letting him get away with that.
Punishing the gun pickup instantly there. And I said earlier that from what I'd watched in Pacific, I thought Bind was Munchkin's weakest map individually. And I also said earlier that when I think about Gen.G, I'm thinking mainly about texture, Garon, Meteor being the three powerhouse players, when Munchkin is finding plays, finding moments, and winning duels like this, I truly believe this team's unbeatable. Because it adds that additional layer. Munchkin ended up top fragging on map 1. Destroyed them last time these two teams played split. It's been outrageous in this tournament.
He's doing it again now here on Bind.
Well, nice face.
Nade off the Dizzy's contact and a fight as well out into the open. He's the one who's going to be coming up on top. Here, out. This is a little bit of chaos now. Strone really into the mix here with the orbital strike. Was committed. No kill from that one though. And Gen.G wounded. Be limping themselves away now back over towards that A site.
They know that Zelsis took the teleporter, so they know that there's a Brimstone around there with ult to be able to deny the plants. This isn't a round where Gen.G can just try to fight quickly. They actually smoked off the teleporter at the very beginning of the round as they took sand control, expecting a crunch from SEN. But instead it was that double up on the hookah that did the damage and put Gen.G in this spot.
Zelsis ने जर pick किया तो संपला भी.
Just contact all the way in has done them wonders. Still, they do have to worry about that ult, and there it is. Sent flying out to the back of the site like here. Pop flash play out and collected all sorts of kills and damage, but then wide face of Zelsis, beautiful with the movement. He glides and saves the day. Leads down to that 1v2 still with the pit up. Munchkin, plenty of options left here. Is he going to be aware of this? Potentially keeps the pit up.
He actually might be able to tap here and use the teleport, but he's looking to try to take the fight instead.
Trying to make a play. Every angle needs to be watched for, and it is.
Nice. What a round by Zelsis.
Yeah, Vibe Merchant in the flesh.
Impeccable play there, and I love what Gen.G went for too. The awareness from this team is spectacular. They're thinking about the fact that they could get sand crunched at the start of the round. Then they call the mid-round over towards A, tap, and look to flash backside to punish the players who are going to be trying to get into the pit at that time. Love what they did, but Zelsis shuts it down from his position on top. Very competitive game that we have here. To really show his dominance on the entry, coming straight down mid.
No direct hit. He got rocked straight to the back wall. Yep, second. Comes out on top in that one here. Nade will get sent flying. Players seeking to try and plug up that gap as well. You can see them. Gen.G swarm that position. Mosh pit does relieve that pressure, but has dropped him down. Now the showstopper. Earns up and a bound. Zekken eventually claiming the kill, just using a gun this time. Here it is into the site. It's Meteor. He splits it up.
He's distracting. He's pulling 3 players over towards A. Munchkin, though, instead of rotating, decides to reinforce his player, who's in a deep position. But this crossfire looks impossible to break.
How do you break it? You just can't. Surely.
Well, they're worried about a B lurk, so this might break it themselves.
No way.
They don't swing.
The trade's late, the swing's late. Meteor, he's gone for seconds, you greedy, greedy boy. But spam down at a triple point, and now there's the call. Finally, a TP by Munchkin. Gives the indicator again, but Sentinels left worried. They've made the right read onto this one.
They have. If they double swing at the same time, they're going to be able to catch Meteor. Do they predict
it? Discipline, the diligence, Meteor. Can't land his shot, still 30 seconds left, and again, it's a wrap around, the ring around the roses, straight through the TP. Munchkin, though, will be met or placed. It's going to be blocking them off, at least from being able to flood themselves back into it, but he actually didn't activate the orb.
And he didn't throw the snakebite either.
Bit of a misplay potentially, but now finally out into the open. A few bullets to pay for the price of that one, still alive.
SEN was so worried that Munchkin was fake tapping there that they didn't even get into backside in time. So now Munchkin's snakebite with the orb completely locks them off. They are worried, where could Munchkin be right now?
Lineup वर गेला असेल असं वाटेल मला असं वाटतंय त्यांना असं वाटत असेल लाईनअप वर
play it as the first point here. Sassy just sticking, holding faith in his teammate behind him, and you can feel it all the way through. Paranoia settling in for John, but still he lands the shot in the end.
कडक डिफ्यूज होता हा.
Great call by SEN and a right smile on Munchkin. Look at that. Fantastic positioning by Zekken, and he hops over the top of it. Playing jump rope up there.
भाई सॅसी हगलेला सॅसी फॅन्टम घेऊन हगलेला पण गोळ्या कनेक्ट झाल्या का तर फॅन्टम होती म्हणून ना.
Not doing enough damage to Gen.G's economy just yet, but they've got themselves in a great spot. Ults abound, their defensive setups are working, and another fight potentially here. They've got the read that Meteor just keeps placing Cam in similar positions.
That's why the fast face comes out, it looks like, from Sentinels, just making sure that they take away the cam, don't let Media set himself up into that spot. But John QT, his pit blocks off at least one section of the B site.
The mid-round timing. I mean, Zekan here might be looked to be bailed out by the Thrash. Yeah, you can see this setup. But it's possible that if Gen G have enough players here, this could just be Zekan in a one-on-one. All four players for Gen G grouped up.
Dogs contact.
Either going to be amazing or terrible for Sentinels.
Thrash being held as the Trailblazer. Here it is. No, it's a little bit late. It's delayed. It's delayed. It's delayed. Second. Needs to get out of entertainment. Right on time. Karon. Oh, he's barely crawling away there. Death's door, but he will survive into this round. And guess where Meteor is? Go and walkabouts once more. It's made a noise. Played a map into this fashion, but yes, he did make a noise. And now the Seeker's being used. It will point him towards him. Has to break it. Drops down the cage. Direction. Gen G turning in and facing over towards the B side. Sentinels will be running and following them fast on them, hot onto the heels. Inside the smoke. Meteor dominates the angle and dominates the space of his own neural theft down. Gen G stand a chance and more. The decision to be made. Invite into the back of the site, and it is going beautifully for them.
Spike planted.
The pace from Gen G is just far too much for Sentinels to deal with. This team reacts so quickly. The calls are amazing. The decision there, realizing that the solo play from Meteor had taken enough space to get in, and instead of doing something simple, like throwing Karen's molly over towards that smoke and stopping the Sen flood retake, they get inside it themselves. And I was seeing this all the time when these two teams played on Split. To me, one of the biggest issues was Sen could not keep up with the pace of decision-making from Gen G. Like there, Tens throws the wingman because he's thinking, I'm going to stop somebody from getting inside this smoke, and I'm going to get into it first. And he doesn't realize they've already thought of it and got there quicker. And these tiny adjustments in timing can be all the difference. Cool idea as well from Sentinels on that short hold. Just not quite enough. Look at it as well, the extra layer of flashing through the smoke. It's just so good. And while Sen felt like they were pulling away with their wins in round 7 and 8, it's actually them with a battered economy now.
Shoddy by.
Now Zelzis can still be a real difference maker with the judge in hookah. Do not count that out.
Oh my goodness, you do not want to be standing there.
Yeah, they're expecting somebody to be playing for the orb, but nobody's won away, so just a hard read perhaps that they were going to go for that on the eco. Sassy and Tens set up to go for that re-clear down B long again.
Texture though, he's in an anti-flash.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Gen G are aware of it.
Sassy's out wide here. He's jiggling all that information. Trailblazer, this timing could be absolutely everything. It's broken up close and personal. Knows that Gen G have come knocking. Seems like they want nothing to do with it. Dizzy, flash play,
but only
utility to go back again.
Yeah, Dizzy only shot one person. So Gen G might be thinking, right, they think we've left, let's re-hit B now.
Rooted in place. Maybe the noise.
Patience टेस्ट करते हैं भाई
बेकार.
अब push आलस.
Presence over towards it. Sentinels making calls of their own to just triple up into hookah, but with Lakia not spotting anything. Now the call has been made again. Another pivot here. Munchkin cementing this idea that it's going to be that open sight for them. They're not worried at all, are they? Nade, almost a punishment on it. Karon gets out alive. Heal on line 2, so he will be topped all the way back up.
And this is where the Judge and the Stinger don't look so good anymore.
The post-plant position is immaculate. Munchkin playing a deep angle into showers, even just Lakia with a late rotate now doubled up with him. Too much to deal with here for Sentinel, surely. They'd have to just hit some absolute miracle shots.
Wide again, but guess what? Yeah,
around the
patience.
Inside the smokes, inside every possible option. Could have been there for Sentinels. The only thing he's focused on his mind is trying to get out with that gun, but even that is denied. 5-5. Gen G making it nice and even here.
हे लोक एला चाललेले आणि एकच बीचे इथे आपल्या हुक्काचे जे बाहेर होता उभा हे तिघं जण एवढे हुक्काच्या इथून बाहेर आलेत भाई.
One of the reasons is I had no idea Munchkin was capable of this. No. We've seen him at global events before.
Mumbai harli yaar.
But bear in mind, nobody on
has
previously been in a position to do this kind of thing. They are not the creme de la creme of Korean talent, at least not until this year. They've always played second fiddle. Munchkin and Meteor were playing in Japan. They didn't even have the option to, get those opportunities on top Korean teams. Lakio languishing on the bench. Texture of duelist. Karen not even a pro player, for God's sake. And every time Munchkin had turned up, the language issue and the attack side calling didn't look very good. This team has come together with HSK.
तू हे पण बघ कधी आपण सिंगापूरला गेलो ना तिथे पण हे लोक असेच खेळतात एकदम
बरोबर नाही एक सारखं आपल्यासारखं नाही
हां ना यार नाही तर मुंबई सर्व्हर मध्ये दोन्ही साइडचे पुशा बाई काय
multiple opponents. I've always knocked them out. Number 1 seed of the Pacific for a reason.
And it's not so much, in my opinion, that they're standing on the shoulders of giants and building on what Pacific have done before. They look to be straight up leapfrogging them.
Oh yeah.
How many times have we seen DRX and PaperX try to break through that glass ceiling? What ceiling? Wait, you guys could
अरे ह्या लोकांना अटॅक असून हे लोक पुश नाही करत टाइमच्या आधी माहिती आहे का
It's unbelievable. Double outlaw here for Gen G on the attack side, predicting the fact that SEN are going to be on an eco.
They'd be right. They would be right. Deep smoke dropped down here for Sentinels just to try and at least hold on to control of bathroom showers. Come towards that A-long angle, but B-long have a question entirely.
ये कौन वाद होते हैं रे?
Walking slowly.
बैन कर रहे.
Reactions on point for texture. Just
हाँ जयेश ला बैन कर रहे.
survives.
Very lucky for Sassy there.
असं काय करतो रे जयेश गपचूप येऊन लगेच असं वाजवतो आणि मी आलो की लगेच जातो बघितलं मी तुला
No damage on Zelsis.
काय रे असे करतात पोरं
Noise being made all over the place here.
काय मजा येते अशी म्हणजे
How difficult it must be for Sentinels.
मुंबई
हरली यार be long. The shots fired off towards A.
अबे जाऊ दे बे.
Flash sees nothing.
That's ridiculous.
Flash sees nothing.
Anti-info and Sassy's leaving.
फिरवतात बघ लोक कसा
बघ ना बॉम्ब प्लांट ने झाले तर लाइनअप टाकतोय वायपरचे
अरे ते लोक डोक्याशी खेळतात बघ ना कशी
बघ ना
अरे त्याने भाई ईला टाकला
terrible concoction. John QT sole defender just needs to hold down his little portion of territory. But Meteor just seems so damn aware of it. He is hunts him down, sniffs him out.
Brutal situation for SEN to be in. This site's so difficult to retake Lakia. Oh, body block there for a moment.
Surely no chances though with the gun advantage for Gen G. They are just cross-fired up out the wazoo, making sure that they can beam down anybody who tries to step past that mark.
Zekin will take the death to be able to, the kill, sure, to be able to get his ult online for the next round. But it's just all focus on round 12 here.
With Sassy.
I thought he was going to go for it. I really did.
Any danger in the round for Gen G.
तो बोलला मला तर नाइफ करायला मिळतोय तर मी जातो नाही तर मग मारतो
that bird telling lies over towards B.
सात HP होता कापला पण असता
या आवडला कापला
flashes around. I mean it just goes into garden but everybody's playing an anti-flash position. I'm not sure on purpose there really. Just happened to give terrible information.
How lucky you.
The bird disappeared without a whimper. A canary in the coal mine as Sentinels quickly did the same. 3 ops online for Gen G here, looking to try to close things out if SEN get aggressive.
Okay.
3 ops.
It gets silly.
They've all got rifles, I would assume, to be able to pick back up as well.
Round 12, final
3
round.
ops काय घेतले सांगू?
And actually a really important one to be able to get online. You know, they've got the ults here. Zelsis one away from
attacking मध्ये 3 ऑफ घेतले तरी त्यांनी काय म्हणजे?
मग तेच बोलतो ना ते अरे सेन वाले सरळ सरळ रश करतात ते.
Might just go down to it. Zekin again jiggling. Meteor.
Confidence मानला पाहिजे
for the fight.
हा बघ बघितलं? काय बोललो
First online. I mean, operators across the field. It's Karon just plucking tens out of the picture.
त्यांना माहिती आहे किती पण काय अबा कसं जातोय बघ लाकी कसं जातोय
re-ult back onto
बघितलं?
Meteor. Didn't realize Meteor had already left.
तो तसंच गेला लास्ट पर्यंत थोड़ा सा सब बघून
inside the smoke, doubled up now. They want to flood.
Nice, Sassy काढली भाई.
Here it is. Double up high low. Sentinels.
Nice रे.
He's brute force the barrel through Sensi. So damn fancy. Might have brought them a window of opportunity, a chance. Very narrowly.
Line up
to stop this one, and Zekin still has the rocket showstopper available. Pit. Now going to be dropped down here with the rocket to clear through and out over the top. It's lifeless. Baron.
Snipes
him anyway.
Zekin sir, Zekin ने one side काढला. One side काढला.
Zekin takes over in the 11th hour to tie this one up at the half. This is where SEN thought they had the biggest advantage over Gen G. This first half has taught them that they are not going quietly.
काय पण कनेक्ट होतं ते यार फॅन्टम काय पण कनेक्ट होतं
लकी आहे भाई
काय पण कनेक्ट होते यार गोळ्या कुठे मारतोय गोळे लागतात कुठे हा बघ याला माहिती आहे भाई तुझ्या गोळ्या माझ्या डोक्यावर नव्हत्या तुझं क्रॉसर माझ्या डोक्यावर नव्हतं तरी गोळ्या लागल्या म्हणून त्याने आता केलं थंबनेल भाई पण शेरविन यार बघ तू सरळ सरळ दिसते तो क्रॉसर कुठे ठेवते गोळ्या कुठे लागतात
फॅन्टम रे हे फॅन्टमच आहे वैंडलचं नाही होत बाबा
uno de los motivos por los que estamos hoy aquí es gracias a ellos, así que os voy a pedir un fuerte aplauso para darles la bienvenida y las gracias obviamente por este pedazo de evento. That's just for you guys, so thank you for this event. Now, Anna, I want to ask you, today we just introduced a new agent to the pool. What can you tell me about them?
So Clove is something we've been working on for a really long time. I'm so proud of the teams back at Riot. They really pushed themselves on this agent, both from a design perspective, creatively. I think they are so vibrant and beautiful, and it's going to do so many great things for the game. So I can't wait for everyone to get to play them next week. I thought the show match today was amazing. It was so good. Congrats to Mixwell and Team España. That was amazing. And yeah.
Okay, we love that. Thank you very much. Now, bueno, obviamente creo que lo habéis entendido, ¿no? Que tiene muchas gracias de que tengamos a Clove entre los agentes, que el showmatch ha estado genial y que solo en una semana ya podéis estar probándolo y creo que va a estar muy, muy guay. Now, Leo, of course you're on the competitive side. What do you think about this gorgeous event?
Oh my God, we are so happy to be here. We've been dreaming about coming to Spain for a very long time. This is our first time here. You all have been incredible hosts. Thank you so much for embracing VCT. We love you. This is just the first event of the season. There's a lot of VCT to come in 2024. We're gonna jump straight into stage 1, and we're so happy to be here. So thank you all again.
Nos da las gracias por estar aquí, por ser tan acogedores. Esto para los que no habéis hecho el workbook. Pero la verdad que lo estáis haciendo genial. Obviamente todavía nos queda todo el stage y todo lo que queda por llegar en 2024. Recordad, cuanto más ruido hagáis, más conscientes serán de lo que necesitamos estos eventos en España. Pero obviamente esto no ha terminado, así que seguimos con el partido.
Do love a bit of crowd work. People riled up here for the second half of Bind. Full importance. Keeping our eyes peeled now onto this pistol round.
And I know that Sentinels have changed up a lot since the last time they played Bind against Heretics with this composition. But when we saw them play, it was a lot of short execs with late showers backstabs. Have they got more in their arsenal? Are they prepped against what Gen G are going to bring out here? This is a must-win map for them.
Lakia. Feeling the heat now and the pressure from that one. Bundle of util be going to be used. Trailblazer holding his ground just for a moment, baits it out the shots, but he does get the info that he was after.
Trailblazer लाकीयाने तो थांबवला आणि 2 सेकंदानंतर सोडला.
Wingman, I'll be happy with both.
ते ग्लिच होतं रे.
Didn't get punished for either.
नाही.
जात नाही पटकन 16 रन पण असंच अडकतो बघ.
Trust the read with their defensive rotates.
अरे त्याने थांबवलेलं तिथे.
Such a key thing when you watch them.
दरवाजाच्या मध्ये.
Like nobody's business. You've got to run fakes against them. And now Trailblazer coming down short, trip broken.
Viperने अजून टाकले नाही.
But only for a moment. He realizes there's nothing following it.
Utility बघ ना यार वेस्ट केली नाही बघ त्यांनी लगेच. नाही तर आपले सगळे टाकून मोकळे झाले असते बीला.
30 seconds left.
संपलं असतं भाई एवढ्या ड्युटी याला काहीच नाही बाकी राहत.
Control actually turning into the fake. Looking to commit down short again, and I said these 4-1 execs, they were bread and butter for SEN.
He spotted he's playing deep tucked inside that smoke, and he could again.
Wingman चा लय फायदा आता SEN ला.
Guarding, body a wingman, orbs picked and placed back up. Plant down here for Sentinels. It's all about how he gets played into the post. But Meteor, he was spotted out. Wide into the smoke, Nade flushing him into the back of the side. He is down and low, but hopefully a heal online, potentially there still. Need to hold down onto this ground here for Sentinels, in through lamps, and Gen.G, they are methodical in the nature, the way that they approach a lot of these retake situations. It all comes down to the minutiae, these tiny little details. Flooding now, front of the site, shots found and kills finally online.
Nice.
The defuse, Karon, half already.
Half defuse पण केला.
Enough potentially for Gen.G here with 2 players left. Lakia, the orb, at least there, another kill, found and out, and defended.
भाई Lakia ने 4 kill मारले.
ठीक है भाई.
भाई God.
From the first Masters event. Coming out here in the most recent Lakia.
भाई almost
so clutch. These shots are unbelievable towards the end.
One tap, Ray. One tap.
From every
अब भाई क्या होता लाख भाई
popping off.
Third वाला kill क्या होता?
Lakia himself said
that
his biggest mistake in his career was joining DRX, then known as Vision Strikers. After having that success in his first Masters event,
had his goal.
Yeah.
Push,
he's overtaken that team that he ended up joining and having more success here in a grand finals.
Potential off the charge for Sentinels. This is a great charge out wide and open. Look at the volley, the damage all combined and collected. Growled into it. Gen.G obviously favored. He's got the spike and he's in their spawn.
It's a weird one.
It is a really strange one.
Actually, if Karan ends up going down, although I don't see how he possibly could.
Not with the judge, surely not.
But the A site would be open.
And there is simply no
way. Just understands the timings inherently.
All left on Zekken.
अबो याला बरोबर माहिती आहे प्लेयर कुठून येते ते काय गेस आहे यार.
Will be made from his teammate. Second.
नाही रे.
सेन्स तो है भाई.
Earns himself a plant at least here.
गेस बघ ना काय चेक करतोय बरोबर तो.
Really shouldn't be any opportunities for him to win it out. It'd have to be a bundle of mishaps and mistakes here from Gen.G to really topple this one. So
and these are just the consequences of Gen.G winning a beautiful pistol round here. They get themselves up to 8. And Lucky is going to take the defuse. He's now only 2 away from getting Seekers online. They know that Karen's saved the judge into this as well, so might anticipate him being positioned over to Hookah for the next. Normally that's going to be Munchkin's job, defending onto Hookah. And when I was watching Gen.G play in Pacific on defense, they loved to push. Not in a coordinated early round manner, but just looking for those mid-round timings, trying to abuse the fact that on Bind, teams don't tend to be as spread across the map, watching everything all the time. And of course, SEN's comp doesn't have the Cypher to be able to rely on. Those trips are not going to be there in market, so if anybody finds the mid-round push timings, they're good for it. And it is Munchkin looking to cover Hookah, while Karen picks up short.
वाटलं मला हुक्कालाच बसणार. नाही इकडे बसलं. हिला बसलं. Okay.
Sentinels.
Clearly aware that Munchkin likes to play that aggressively. I think this side is where we've seen weaknesses from Munchkin before, but he also loves to take fights so much that if he's on fire as he has been today, he was in their last match, he could easily be the win condition for their team, in fact.
Gen.G looking like they're calling for a reclear in through Hookah, so they're going to get information pretty rapidly at least.
But Bren, if the judge wasn't in Hookah, where else is it going to be other than short?
Now they're walking right into it.
Too
much util, the dog doesn't clear him, but he does break it anyway.
Nice.
Lands a shot. Good adjustment in the end, but Tense does return that fire. Now a flash. Still only for a moment. Sen's line an 8. Now there's 45 seconds here for Sen.
45 seconds.
Cool down.
Cypher the trap का नहीं दिसत है.
Pivot.
Cypher the trap को तोड़ना नहीं देनी.
तोड़ते हो. His last play is that texture. What is that?
Pulling away. Just
lighting these players up. Yet John QT is right there again. TP through. That was only Zelsis. What is the call to be made? Gen.G finally full committal. They're going to be walking again into Munchkin. Never losing his ground here, always holding on to this space. And now Meteor doubled up crossfire setup. This could be nasty, this could be brutal. Obliterated! Gen.G! Just have such a every position, every scenario. It's all accounted for.
It's these defensive rotations again, Brent. Gen.G is so far ahead of it.
Phantom
Vandal. Think that they've got the timing to be able to go through the teleport like that. Gen.G have already got Meteor not just over towards B, but already set up a crossfire. Munchkin.
Trap तोडलाच नाही त्यांना ट्रॅपची ती लोकेशनच कळली नाही. सेकंड अडकलेला तरी कशी नाही कळली एवढी.
When you watch Gen.G on defense, you would call it over-rotating if it wasn't winning so often. They have such a trust in the read. This nade to push away from position.
सेकंड मग पोचला कुठे? हां असं पुश द्या ना भाई तुम्ही. फुल तर एकटाच तिकडे बाकी बघ कुठे. अरे शॅशीने मारला रे.
Oh Meteor! What a snap to the side. That's the wrist breaker there from Sassy, and hello, what a time to come alive here for Sentinels. Much needed, much anticipated now. Texture. That timing here, entertainment onto Lakia. He's back to all of them, chasing them down, hunting them down. Sassy wants even more, offloading the Seekers. Why not a winnable spot, a winnable position? Karon all alerted to the presence, but he picks up the rifle almost with the pre-fire. Still 2 versus 4. Spike has to get planted here, so Sentinels will at least earn that.
Everybody on SEN inside lamps. It's a really unusual post-plant position.
Gaps to be played within. Sentinels cannot let this one slip. Not after losing previous gun round. Not after losing most of the scenarios where he had that advantage. Thrash off that tap. Satchel over the top here to seek the punish. There it is. Texture, last one left. Last one alive through the box. Nade earned again. But tucked, hiding away from the position. It's Sentinels trying to play this one just a little bit of intelligence. And John gets that information. And a shot to the head. Thrifty here. MasterCard well earned.
What a timing for it too. Definitely felt like Gen.G was running away with this game. This is a must-win map for SEN. This is where they felt most favored. This was their pick of all of the maps they could have gone to. And as the desk was mentioning earlier, they're kind of playing for the 3-1, hoping they don't need to get to white spots. Incredible shots being hit there. We expect to see those a little more, I think, from the Gen.G players. But here it is. Texture with an operator looking down B long.
Yeah. He's got himself onto a really nice forward angle. Spotting out this operator is going to be pretty key and essential here for Sentinels, but they don't have anything concrete to clear it out. Looking at the Dizzy just clears it. Jump spot from second was really out wide, but giving up that space. But Gen.G putting such a heavy premium on control of just both B long and showers. Even got a cam set up. Munchkin willing to hold it down.
Yeah, and they've actually not really heard much on either side. Karon goes for the gamble over towards B. I'm interested. Munchkin didn't quite find the timing to take a duel, but he's now tucked in a position, going to get cleared by that flash.
Yeah, certainly should be. Zekin eager to take the fight there with a boombot just right behind him. He knows the rough position here of Munchkin.
Karon's back immediately over towards A, so there's still 3 players defending this.
But only 30 seconds roughly left here. Moshpit sent flying over the top now as well. Trying to take the space. It's only 10s and he's left alone to his own devices. So for the rest of his team here with only 25 seconds. That's a spike drop down on top of it. Needs to be heroic. There needs to be masterful play at that. Munchkin almost going down to the stray satchel, but it matters not. Overwhelming aggression from Gen.G. Full lockdown in approach and play. Seconds dwindling down to nothing. It's Gen.G up to 10.
The stack, the crossfire, way too much for SEN to deal with. And not just that, Gen.G fighting close. Not trying to hold into backside and rely on the fact that, you know, they'll give SEN the play and try to push through smokes or anything like that. They fought almost even before Meteor was taking contact from the short trips. Look, they pick off 10s here. They're looking to try to fight them in short. They mollied off showers as well, so Zekin couldn't help. They picked that apart and fought aggressively. It was a really interesting quote from HSK, actually, during another interview where he said that Gen.G tries to make the plays that other teams would hesitate to make. That's a very conscious thing that they've come into this year trying to do. We are going to try to be the team that picks that timing and fights you.
been working so damn well for them here. Gen.G.
Look at the rotates, Brent. Look at the rotates.
Set up and
there is less than 10 seconds into the round, and they're planning to 5-stack B.
Second showstopper.
Close
to the corner to clear. Lakia! Blinded! What? Found what? Snaps it! Sentinels. They found an advantage, but it's about converting it now into a round win.
And they've got an inkling that there's a ton of players here stacking the site, but they're not fast enough to pull the trigger and go for the rotate through the teleport, which would have been a play to open up the A site for a free plant. They found themselves a player advantage with the players stacking.
Contact re-clear. Are they going to be ready with the rifle play? It needs to be online. It is Sentinels.
Nice run.
Clean sweep there, out towards it. Forcing Gen.G out in the open. That slight pause keeps them alive for now. And it was really necessary, Josh. I mean, you end up losing that one. Gen.G up to 11. The economy just been dwindling. Sentinels getting rocked left, right, and center.
But what is this? The timing on that dizzy.
Timing leg handle.
It just blinds Lakia right. Yeah. Well, he was 1 HP, I think, after he went through the Viper wall as well. Yeah, so just, but still, caught down extraordinarily low.
Zelsis तू बघितला सीन
crowd
काय होता
behind Sentinels.
Zelsis Mandel असून क्लासिक ने मारतोय
Not at all. Again, Gen.G had 5 players B.
That's fast though. Second. In front of the snake bite, it's got a little bit of damage, almost a kill onto Lakia. It's good damage. It's going to be permanent. There's no heal online, at least he can't heal himself. Now the Trailblazer for the re-clear. Munchkin, you can't be calling for that one again. He just goes down with it.
Yeah. And these are the times when Munchkin ends up getting punished, and it's looked rough for Gen.G. We haven't seen very much of it. Munchkin's been playing a superb game, but that's the kind of stuff that was happening in the Pacific, and SEN have taken full advantage. 3 players very close to key as well, though the orb is not here. SEN put another pause in the round, maybe hoping that Gen.G would do another exploration. They've got to be cautious about Texture's ultimate, and Garon's, for that matter. The more they let the time click, the more that those ults could just win it for Gen.G.
John's fuel here just to prop both of it up, make sure he can clear some of this util. Trip. Spotted and broken. Not be pulling any of the Gen.G players away. It looks like positioning is being shifted. No. Still a re-clear of Texture. He's happy to hold this close angle.
Taripan bhai rotation taripan nahi. Ek ala rotation.
Noise pressure on either side.
Bhai galat rotation.
Now call with 20 seconds left. Guess what?
Dealer aise full galat rotation.
What about gone now?
What about Karon's ult?
Karon's ult, yeah, it's not really going to be handled here at all. And that's going to be sending it out with Wingman. He's going to be broken. No! No! They disabled it correctly, but it does catch on the second. So the plan is online. 4v4 though.
Gecko कितनी फायदा देता है बघितला?
Plant लावला जाईल. The flank. Fast
केवढा गडबडीत
plant लावला जाईल. Punish for it. At least recognizing SEN the weaknesses of their own compositions, but it's immediately answered and evened back out.
Celsius got ult.
So advantage now for Gen.G here with the ult. Here's the first tap, but he's waiting for the second point. Karen's fast onto him. Karen's fast onto him. Already approaching, expecting that position. They just want to let it rip anyway before anybody even taps Gen.G. So fast with the move. Sentinels shut it down.
Vicker round काढला यार हा.
The tension in those kind of rounds when it gets down to a post plant is palpable. Sentinels were so close to major ults getting online. And I think if Celsius hadn't found the kill to be able to get his up, there was all the chance in the world that that round was going towards Gen.G. Tens with 2 gorgeous kills towards the end. Off the back of the dizzy. And Gen.G forced to take a timeout.
Public
their first of this map.
I'm
not sure whether they threw one in on Breeze.
Certainly a rarity. You don't see them often. Calling for that timeout, cool down in the play here because this is Sentinels making a very decent go of it. Yes, they won here and there, a couple of half-five rounds when the economy wasn't too good, but that was full-on gunplay occurring.
Remember though that this should be the map where Sentinels are the most favoured, and they're still behind by 1 round.
Yeah.
Even though they're favoured in the next due to the economy advantage. It's not clean sailing here, not by any means. Gen.G fighting for every inch of this. Not willing to give up any of these maps that they so carefully selected. Now, in terms of what Gen.G are going to be talking about in the timeout here, I think it's going to be about those defensive rotations. They've been stacking the opposite site to the lurk. So when John QT goes and puts pressure and breaks that trip, If it doesn't feel like an exec down short, they still keep players on B. And this time, John QD took the space and called for the rotate over. So that's kind of the opposite, I think, of what Gen G were expecting. And it's possible that Solo and HSK are just addressing that and coming up with a slight variation in how they play the defense. We'll have to keep an eye.
Lakia now eager for this orb, looking to run away from the ultimate, but again, might just earn it himself, he does, with him dropping, sent to the spectator seat. He's going to have to sit on the sidelines and really fester and wonder about what went wrong there. Now it is explosive, second, through and out into the elbow position, spraying down texture. This is explosive into the back of the side, they try and stand their ground, but they can't hold their candle against the weapons.
भाई तो विंगमैन का काय फायदा होतो बघ ना तो बॉम्ब पण लावतोय आणि मारायला पण जातोय गेको मी बोलला ना तुला भाई हां अटॅकिंगला गेकोचा लय फायदा होतो
हा राउंड जर सेमी जिंकला ना नेक्स्ट राउंड इक्वल जाईल 12-10 स्कोर
एक राउंड Gen economy once more and the game which Gen G had under some level of control will start spiraling away from them. Gen G
just churning them up now.
The stack, 3 players over towards B to start, and Karen in a very committed position.
Super committed, but he backs away now with the knife out. Close tucked here. Sentinels.
I mean, this is looking like you thrash to try to put pressure on people, yep. And Zekan follows it up.
Osh and Seekers with a thrash on top. Like you said, Josh here, sending it flying.
Push dila.
He's eager for the engagement.
Purana.
Even more so, spots it out. Munchkin.
Bhai, akka marla.
Fills up that feed for them nicely here. But Gen G might even look to try and fight back, put down.
Hana.
To really dislodge this one here. Maybe even a few stray bullets. Sassy finally planting elbow control for them. On top of that, it's Hookah.
Atta need bag. Atta 2 round back to back push dile तेव्हा झालं बा यांचा game.
In the meantime, might work against them because it has cut off these angles and the core made to contact works out beautifully. Thrash through with the flash as well. On top of it, it comes down to how can they win these kills out.
झालं भाई. आता इको जाणार आहे. इको. आता इको आणि याच्यानंतर हा मॅप मला वाटतं सेन घेऊन टाकेल.
Feels like almost the first time here in this series. I'm sure it's not, but they get that lead at least by 1.
Pressure release भाई सेनचा.
And relying so heavily on getting those ults up. Look at this play. Munchkin stuck while the rest of his team ended up playing for retake. He was just hoping to go 1-for-1 in this spot. But Zekan's entry has so much to help him. Seekers coming from B long, a thrash, need into backside, smokes to cut off all the angles. Sen just decided to drop the codes and just send that one into
B.
And that's a great time to do it too. Oh, the punish on Lakia. Huge.
Lakia don't time at the
start of the round.
That's play just going their way.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need to keep these anti-ecos clean for Sen if you want them to start building up. Because Gen G are super dangerous in these kind of moments. You cannot count them out. They're so apt to take risks in these rounds that have paid off well in the series so far.
Clearly ignoring Hookah. It's a smart call as well. You don't want to walk into those shotguns, but the trips close will cause some issues here.
Celsius has just used all 3 of his smokes, one, I believe, to drop off Hookah, so they've got to commit while these smokes are up.
Fine with a trip in any values, just over and above the top of it here. Second satchel now to see the 4 position with Meteor down.
Nice.
Really no more danger. Sentinels.
Nice.
They are steady as anything here.
Chance night. Chance night.
On the precipice, getting that 12th round here. A critical map in the juncture that is this series.
Texture and Munchkin really with no chances in the round. Though Sassy looks to take the fight instead of relying on the double up.
Zelsis.
Nice.
Same pair of hands there.
Barada.
Rifle in them. Make sure that there's no funny business.
And Munchkin, you can see the motor mouth popping off there. Just going to save and take this time to address with his team what the game plan is once Rifles get online in round 23. Because this is crunch time. Gen G need 2 in a row to just drag this to overtime. And they do not seem happy with the idea that Sen are going to be able to win on their map pick. There is still a chance for Gen G to get back into this one, but these recent rounds have all gone the way of Sen. A reminder, though, that they did it by using ultimates. Even here, Zekan pops the showstopper to be able to get into B. So Gen G, do they actually need an adjustment?
Wow.
Not just the save for Munchkin to talk. Now a timeout called, the second of the map. to allow their coaches a bit of input too.
Time out.
But Bren, what I'm saying here is, yes, it's been 5 in a row for Sentinels, but crucial rounds have been won off the back of ultimates.
Yeah.
And Sen do not have access to those anymore. I mean, they're one away from getting Seekers back up because Sassy is frying. But I think Gen G's game plan has not necessarily been the issue so much as them fighting an uneven war.
Well, finally, there's going to be a bit of that parity. Even guns on Gen G's side. Sentinels running out of those ultimates. I think you are right. I mean, you're right on the money in terms of just talking about the game plan for Gen G. It hasn't really been going amiss. They've just been getting ran over, steamrolled almost by just that sheer ult economy that's just been churning, generating constantly for Sentinels, but it has run out. And Gen G have to put a stop to it here if they want to stop Sentinels on their map pick.
Yeah, and we're talking about it running out, but Sassy could certainly play for the Showers Orb here. It looks like Sen are set up for a fast Showers take. And unless Meteor's able to pull off some magic, because he's going to be vastly outnumbered.
Let's see it.
Seekers are going to be online, surely.
What have you got up your sleeve, Meteor? Team needs some magic. We need it now. He's backing away. It's just that aggressive cam.
He's been putting that there a lot, though.
Yeah.
They've already seen that in a couple of post-plant situations. Sen are going to know. It could trigger some kind of Showers crunch, though. So they've got to be a bit cautious. Look, Tens, Zekken, ready to punish the players that might come through the teleport, using Sassy as bait. And now they walk forward, get Seekers online.
Close up onto the angle, dog broken. Boombot is the first layer of contact.
Munchkin pushing out through sand.
Is Munchkin, and he's been doing this at least in the qualifiers. It could be a punishable element. They have to be aware of it. Gaps in the play for Sentinels, and it looks like Celsius is seemingly clearing most of this, but they've left that tiny window.
These are slow rotates. Second, though, making a little bit of noise. Munchkin's going to make the call. Look at these rotates from Gen G. All coming, beating the rotate.
No way.
Getting into B.
Flooding back in.
And Munchkin has not overplayed his
sound.
Make
sure sound
he just feeds the info his team needs. And what a call this is.
Gets the hell out. 30 seconds. This is going to be a full committal. Straight into the maw. Out wide. They're not expecting it. Gen G players holding their ground, rooted and snared into place, but they're willing to just fight tooth and nail. Spike drop down. Molly's at the feet. Nobody can advance. Nobody can step over the line. There's going to have to be those shots. It's going to have to be that firepower. But again, is it enough? Is it enough? It's not. Meteoric from Meteor himself.
And what a call by Munchkin, man. We saw him go for those sand pushes all throughout Pacific, often getting punished for them, but played this one to perfection. Sentinels have got to be scratching their heads after that, thinking, how on earth, when we were fairly quiet the whole way over towards B and had made noise throughout Showers, how did they get the read? How did they know? Let's go.
OT or GG, OT dana
play from Munchkin without really even popping up on the kill feed. All just based on getting that deep positioning and hearing the footsteps and calling the rotate. The defense side rotates from Munchkin are just phenomenal. And to make that play and just push the very boundary of what you can get away with. In a round that now makes this feasible, that we could be heading to
That's why Sen are calling this time out here. It's the last one that they've got, at least in regulation, and they understand the importance of the round. You don't want to go to OT against Gen G. You don't want to be making these adaptations over time.
We were talking a lot about the ults being on the side of Sentinels. Well, now,
watch party flipped.
Munchkin still has access to that Viper's pit. Caron, one away from being able to get an orbital strike online. These are ultimates that in the middle of a round can change the flavor of what's happening dramatically. Oh my. Gen G are going to start the stack on A with 4 players. What a gamble to push them through into OT.
4-1 setup. Don't see it. Looks like they're going to try and set up Munchkin for that deep pit in through the main choke, and he is going to layer it down. Needs to be defended in time, but here's that Showers fight. Molly drop down. Gen G walking, Gen G walking, Gen G walking, but losing the fight. Initially, it's up to Lakia. Hold it down and start this round. Away the short block, and Lakia comes up huge. You're joking. Getting away with murder.
It just flips in an instant. Gen G not happy to just sit inside the pit. Pushed outside of it. Managed to get a
भाई
kill.
यांना एक मॅप काढायला ओटी पण जावं लागतंय सेनला.
Outrageous decision from Munchkin and the Gen G coaches coming out of Sen's TAC timeout. And now funneling the final 2 survivors straight into these trip setups. I mean, this just looks absolutely brutal for Sen to deal with.
Gen G यार आली ना या पॅसिव्ह मध्ये खेळायला लय बेकार खेळते. बघ ना आता त्यांचं एक पण पुश करत नाही पुढे. त्यांना चुकी कळाली की आपले 2-3 पुश होतात पुढे, त्यांनी लगेच थांबवले.
Out wide, there won't be any punish onto these trips, but they're not going to walk into it anyway.
Trap त्यांनी आतमध्ये येऊन दिले म्हणजे गाळ्यात फसवतात बघ त्या बघ. बघ अरे भाई गाळ्यात फसवलंय सरळ सरळ.
All the way here, Gen G not going to be denied it. John QT dropping to the floor. And let's go again, shall we?
काय राउंड काढलंय यार.
There's a perfect example.
गाळ्यात कसं फसवलंय बघ ना यार.
Let's look at this for starters. Second and Zelsis trying to hold the push and just got minced. Tens as well, not realizing that Lucky was in the corner, despite the fact that he caught a little bit of chip damage. But for me, that final moment where Munchkin just comes, all right, there's 30 seconds left. We haven't seen them over towards A at all. They've got to be taking B, and they just went through the teleporter. They're not worried about the fact that it could have been a late A hit.
Zelsis आणि जॉन क्यूटीला भाई काय पण करून खेळावंच लागेल मॅच काढायची.
A lot of the coaches have been talking about.
Zelsis कशाला वाचतो रे मग? हां टॉप फ्रॅगर नाही खाली राहून वाचते.
All the time, trust in your gut, and I feel like no team embodies it more at the moment than Gen G.
Yeah, full committal into the calls that are being made here, but the sides are swapped around now. Opening a round of OT. Meteor.
आईला इथं घाण
keep. Go of this one here, Cam. Attacking, but already through the choke point. Still, they deal with it. Pesky intruder out towards, and Shower's control is going to be essential. What is the call now for Gen G?
A plan for backside here and taking control of the defense spawn seems like a good idea. But Gen G don't want to commit to it just yet. Now, Karen's got one smoke to play with. You can smoke off Heaven, you can have somebody watch over towards pipes, but they're not making a decision here. They're slowing down and they're kind of trapped.
Waiting for Munchkin.
Yes, but what is Munchkin really going to do? Tens is on a great angle at B long.
It's just all hinging on this, isn't it? It's an off angle at that.
I just don't see how Munchkin clears this.
Yeah, an ADS.
Spoils
it for Munchkin here, Tens.
It's weird though, because they don't know where Gen G are. They could be all the way up Heaven, all sorts of spots.
It's going to cause the push out here by Sentinels, meeting them right into texture, but he wasn't waiting for it. As a trade attempt by Caron, he will fall too. Everybody topples, Sentinels. Flawless here. The first round of OT, and another chance to seal up this map.
Rare moment of hesitation, I think, from Gen G there. Munchkin clearly wanted to take matters into his own hands and was hoping that Gen G would find Sentinels